So hi everyone, so very warm welcome to this new learning session on SAP Cloud Platform Integration. So I'll just do one thing. So right now I've received one or two questions regarding whatever we have discussed in last session, and someone might have put it to the query part. So in case if they want to ask, so I'll just do one thing. First of all, I'll revise what we have done it quickly, just recap. Then maybe we'll take it up a question, and then I'll just continue with the session part. Okay. So the last time I think we were really going through some kind of interesting use cases where we have just seen how we can exactly subscribe or we can just log into the cockpit part. From there, I'll just able to locate my global account, then sub account, and what are the services we are looking for. So let me just log into the system. So every time in case, I think the cockpit is the right place for a cloud platform to log in. So let me just do one thing. Let me just log in with the credentials. So last time what we have discussed is last time we have just tried to click on one of the global accounts which was created for this particular cloud platform. So right now as such last time I hope it was pretty much clear that what exactly is your global account, from where you should start looking into it, where we can just see what are the different services which are available for this particular your platform account or your global account. So the next thing what we have to do is, let me just click on to this particular global account. Let me just do one thing. Let me click on to my one of the sub accounts. So last time what we have discussed is in case if we have to start subscribing services or about the roles. So from where we can just start this. So the best place is, let me click on to this particular one of the sub accounts. So right now we have just clicked on to the sub account. So last time we have gone through different options or how we can just see overall health, usage, application wise for one particular sub account. So right now there are different options we have seen it last time. Your subscription, services, solution, connectivity, security, repository, analytics, entitlement, members, platform roles. So there are different things. So last time what we have talked morely, in case if you have to start with cloud platform integration, what you have to do is you have to go to your applications, you have to click on subscriptions. So once I click on subscription, right now for me the most important node is my TMN node. I'll click onto that my TMN node. So right now all these application URL will open up, which will help me to log in into my cloud platform integration. Okay, and I'll tell you one more important thing. Every time any URL or any suffix prefix you see during this particular course, trust me, everything is very important. Nothing is just there or one single letter even. Okay, everything has a meaning, but right now I will not be able to help you out, but definitely in future it will be after a few sessions. So for example, let's say API, CXF. So this is your application programming interface, your CXF, your CellTX file. So there are different important your URLs which get generated, which you can just only able to locate into your cloud platform. So anytime I'll just put it this again. So right now, anytime in case if you have open your sub account, in case if you have already have some kind of CPI access, or in case you were starting it, just come to subscription, your tenant management node. So this is the important node. In case if you are into your cloud platform, click onto this, you will be able to locate all the URLs. The next thing is in case about the roles. Okay, so what are the different roles which you really need to go forward with your integration part. Okay, so the last time we have talked about different roles. So these are the different roles we have talked about. Your auth group business expert, auth group administrator, auth group integration developer, auth group system developer. So these are the different roles which are required for you to proceed into your integration part. Okay, so then we just talked about roles. I think this is pretty much it right now, because in case if I go and start talking about your connectivity and connectors, so right now it will be very confusing. So in case if you are very new, three things very important to you, for you. First of all, which node, your subscription, and in case if you want to have new members or remove members, you can just easily go to the members part. So this is the one which was very important thing which we have started with. Okay, And your second important thing was how you can go through and install your might be in case if you want to have your own or your testing part, okay, or might be your trial accounts. Right now, I think this is a document I have shared. I think a few response I have received. I think most of people was able to cover this part because this was very plug and play, and these are very standard documents. So right now, don't give me any credit for this particular bit because whatever we can reuse and whatever we can give you in a sequence or a standard format, please, okay, because every content for CPI will be published by standard SAP, and if people say they have created their own content, that's just a normal bullshit, as simple as that. Okay, so right now I hope in case if you are able to install this particular part, okay, so right now what exactly next we have to do is, if you are done with this particular bit, so right now with today we have to start with our CPI part. How can we log into the system? What are the different components? We do have it, but apart from it we do have another two questions which someone has asked me up. Okay, so first one, let me just okay, just before proceeding for the questions part, I hope for this where we have last time talked about, because this is important. Also, I'll just ask again. So everyone know that whenever we have to subscribe for services, once you are into a sub account, so how easily we can just click on, like, this is the one process integration which we need to subscribe for our case. So right now this is enabled. So I hope last time I have in my session I've shown how easy it is to enable one of the services. Okay, so process integration is the service which we enable onto cloud platform for enabling or starting your cloud platform integration. Okay, so this is the second part, and I hope everyone is clear with it. So right now, how you can easily create a trial account for you for might be your subscribing part, your roles part, then might be creating some kind of your configuring trust. This is mostly very plug and play, and I think the people who have joined might be little later or recently. So I'll do one thing, might be able to help you with the sharing this document. Okay, and in case if you have anything, just feel free to reach out to me. Okay, so these were the two three things we have discussed. So right now, so there are two questions someone asked me up. So right now the first question was regarding that we have talked about cloud platform integration. So only this is the one reason that I have talked about example of Amazon. So first of all, why do we need your cloud platform integration or integration as such? So that we can execute end-to-end business process. Okay, so I've talked about very different business processes. Might be last time we have talked about taking a use case of C4 HANA, ERP as success factor, your service ticket integration with success factor, then might be your like Ask HR, then might be your for calendars, or there are different systems we do have right now. Okay, so right now, does only CPI support, or does CPI's tool is just only for integration? So right now, as such, no, definitely no. Because right now, that was the only example where I can just help you up, or I can just start your building your process on top of it. Okay. Guys, can you just give me a moment? I think someone is, I think someone is calling. Just give me a moment. Guys, really sorry for that part. So right now there was, I think, some kind of important calls which just popped up. So right now, what exactly is the next part? So right now, when I talked about the CPI is only required for your cloud platform integration only for transaction data. So as such, no, because right now that was only to set up a starting part. So right now there can be a different thing. For example, So right now, definitely there are other business use cases we do have it. Okay, so first one is might be your Internet of Things. Might be it can be used for your event processing. Might be it can be your digital omni-channel access. So right now there are so many different use cases which will be coming in your while you just start going through this particular session or your the CPI training. So there are few things which will come up then which will make you more sense, because whenever we start any kind of programming, or might be in case if we start any kind of working with some kind of specific applications, right, that is restricted to it only. But right now, in case if you just jump into your integration part, so there are different kind of things where you need to make sure that here both the parties are as such in align or in harmony. Okay, so there are a lot of things will come up, and I think today definitely there is one other topic which actually will make a little of kind of a change. Okay, so right now let me just do one thing. So I hope till this particular part it's clear when we have seen your how you can easily enable the service and how you can start with the service. So right now I do have your URL where I can just log in into your one of the applications. So right now this is my application URL, and this is how I'll step into my SAP Cloud Platform Integration, SAP CPI. So everyone right now know, in case if you have to start with your URL from where you'll be able to figure it out. Okay. But right now, before jumping into your getting directly into your topic, so there are different other important critical components which is right now to very much required to answer. So why right now I'm talking about this particular bit? Because there are two or three important facts about it. So first fact is, so right now whenever we click on discover, everyone talks about integration content. No one talks about the second part, APIs. Okay, and I hope you remember whenever we have started going through demo or my other discussion about this particular topic, and in case if you don't have access for your cloud platform integration to see which kind of a content is available to me, so SAP has given one common portal, api.sap.com. Okay, because from there only from this is the only place where we'll just start about getting into the topics. Okay, so right now let's see, we do have different kind of so this is how exactly your API business up. Okay, so right now every time I talk about getting directly into my content type of integration, okay, and I just click on view more, and I'll be able to locate happily all the kind of a digital content, might be for your S4 HANA, other cloud applications like Ariba, SuccessFactors, Concur, and there are so many much more. Okay, but right now there is a one trend which is picking up very quickly. Okay, which is of your API. But right now, in case if you have not heard about API part, so let me just start with it, because this is your so your API stands for application programming interface. So right now might be you would be having a question that why right now Sam is talking about your APIs part, or how does exactly is linked with your today's topic. So right now what exactly is, so let me just take an example of your one common example of Uber. Okay, so right now think of a case. Right now Uber is into multiple business. Okay, might be your food business, might be your ride business. Okay, and right now in case if he wants to plug its data, might be some user data onto map, so what exactly you think which will be a good option, to create their own maps or use some kind of a Google Maps? So definitely answer will be your reusing the Google Maps. So right now, what how does API helps is, so right now these are kind of a plug and play uh, interfaces developed by company and they expose it. So based on some kind of a request parameter, they will be able to give you the response. So now think of a case. Now Uber has one kind of a small ecosystem where they are actually trying to give one UI persona. What will happen in that particular bit is they'll be able to ride a cab. They will be like easily ride a, in case if they want to ride a cab, so they have an option. In case if they want to have food delivered to their home place, so right now they can also do it. So to bring everything together into a place, so this API's concept is very amazing. So right now think of a case. Right now I've given an example in terms of your one Uber, which I think everyone uses. So right now think of a case that might be a company wants to run different kind of uh, businesses together. Business together in the terms of, in case they want to have different vendors to run their business process. Might be right now for their HR system they are using a success factor, might be their CRM they're trying to use Salesforce, and might be for their backend they're using SAP ERP, and might be much more for other simple applications. Because right now the era which we are living, everything is more related to your point solutions. So point solutions are like one specific functionalities, might be for visit management or might be your sales order. Okay, so right now this kind of world we are living in. So what happens is right now with the help of this APIs, company exposes, so will be it's kind of very plug and play to use it in our one or you can say one platform or might be one ecosystem. So same way, so previously this kind of issues, SAP customers used to face this kind of issues because right now they will not really able to access other components, uh, or SAP don't used to have the concept of API. So once your Salesforce, Instagram, everyone has started exposing their API, so SAP has to come by force in the market for this API part. So this is quite important right now to understand API. Let me just tell you why. So for example, so right now in case if anyone don't have any access for might be any systems, right now in case if they are trying to explore the trial account, so might be you can just directly go to api.sap.com. You can just go to content types as APIs, click on view more. Okay, so right now these are the different APIs which have been exposed. So right now, suppose in case if someone wants to access a sales order or purchase order, not through SAP part, only through your SAP sales order and purchase order of on-premise through HTTP through internet. So how you will be readily able to expose it? So right now, yes, we can do with the help of your APIs part. Okay, so someone can easily access this part. But the good part is there were a lot of other problems previously because as I mentioned, in case if you want to bring multiple company data or might be in case if you want to use different vendors in one particular place, because previously there used to be a lot of your fragmented user experience because you cannot just call directly data of some other vendors or might be like companies like Workday, Salesforce in a one API portal. Okay, because there was no concept of as such of your API. So previously there was a lot of complex technology, lot of your constrained engagement was there. So to solve only this particular issue, SAP brought this concept of API. As I've given you the example of your like Uber. Okay. So what exactly will help with your API part? So first of all, it facilitates communication between your different apps, website, devices. Okay, and your UI development will be definitely will be fast, and you can just easily expand your business through new channel and partners. So I'll just do one thing. Might be I'll just draw for you something which you can just easily try to correlate for you because this is very important to understand that in case if someone wants to expose their purchase order or in case if they want to expose the sales order through cloud platform integration, so for that particular use cases, SAP cloud platform integration and your API management has to be in sync. Yes. Okay, so now let me just do one thing. So now I'll do one thing rather than just trying to tell you more and more. Might be I think just drawing a figure will help you out. So let me just draw first of all three boxes. We do have it. So right now, I think with this particular example, might be for you, it will be a little clear to understand how exactly your cloud platform integration and API management will help each other to customers or business to achieve their core purpose. Okay, so right now, let me just think of. So right now, I'm just trying to keep this box as like internet box where we do have your some kind of API portal. And by the way, right now this is quite frequently used by a lot of customers. Might be I can just show you the example also how customers are frequently using this API portals. Okay, then think of something your CPI, which is your cloud platform integration. Might will just take this aside. So right now, let me just once I just try to put some kind of different names. So might be I think for you it will be pretty much clear. Okay, so right now let me just draw again, might be just link it and I'll just try to explain you up. Okay. So right now, think of a case that customer, what exactly customer want to achieve. So right now, customer want to show some kind of a sales order, purchase order coming from your on-premise system to your some kind of some custom screen or through your internet. Might be some kind of a portal or some kind of a UI screen which you have built it. So right now to achieve this particular kind of a scenario, so again, as I mentioned for your API, so there are few standard API which SAP has predefined given to you. Okay, so which you will be able to directly use it. So that's kind of a scenario is very plug and play. So right now, in case if you go to your API content, might be let's say these are the different standard APIs which are already available. So for example, like your SAP Marketing Cloud, we do have your 44 APIs which are available. Might be for your business user read, external recommendation API, your import campaign success data. So right now, in case if you have this kind of APIs, because that API can directly communicate and it will be able to show into your apps. Okay, so this scenario is very plug and play. Okay, but right now, think of a case when your on-premise system don't expose the data directly. Okay, right now they don't have as such any way to expose it. So right now, how exactly your scenario will be? So in that particular case, these two boxes will come together. Your API portal, or let me just say API only, API portal, API management, and your CPI. So what will happen is, so suppose right now for your this API want to have specific some kind of on-premise data, might be say let's say outstanding. So what exactly we'll do is, so right now API inside API we do have something called API portal. So I think that will again go in little deep, but I'll just tell you few steps. So in case if we go to API portal, so in cloud platform, as you see your cloud platform integration. Similar way, in case if we subscribe for SAP API portal, so we have again URL which will help us to navigate to the SAP API portal. So in that particular part, we have some tab called API provider. Okay, so I'm just trying to arrange it in case last if I can just show you a demo. Trust me, that's very helpful because as an integration developer, for you it will be very critical. Okay, so right now what happens is once you have APIs, your what should I say, the URL part, you have something called API provider. Okay, in your API provider, what happens is you can just easily look for the services which have been exposed through CPI. Okay, so right now let me go to API. So right now these are the APIs which are exposed through your CPI box. Okay. So in this particular case, what happens is your API will call API provider, which will look for all the services which you have done through CPI. And internally CPI will have a call to your cloud connector or premise. So you have to just worry about this particular bit in this particular box. So in this case, what will happen is you have to look for what are the APIs which are exposed through your CPI. So whenever you are trying to get a license, you have to make sure that your these two things are together. So I think your company will take care. You don't have to worry about it. But anyone says that we are trying to use API portal and we do have some kind of a service which goes through CPI. Okay, so this is a way to look forward for it. Okay, your APIs part, which are going through your CPI integration. So guys, any questions you do have, it might be it can be little different from track as such, because you might not go through your usual programming, because right now as a part of your integration there are definitely you need to have a little different mindset. previously we don't talk. Previously we used not to take this particular topic, API management. But right now, seeing the criticality and people has a lot of business use cases, so I'm trying to put it for you. Because as such, I don't have any system for API management. I can just show you, but you have to be very clear about this particular scenario. Okay. In case if you don't know, as such, I say API. So API is your application programming interface. In case if you want to consume some kind of standard API which is given by your SAP, first of all, where you can just see it. Okay, so this is this one scenario, this one and two. This is very standard and straightforward. But there are few scenarios which SAP cannot directly expose through your API part. So what will happen is you have to take a reroute from your whatever you make internet call or your any apps to API. From there onward, it will call to your CPI, and then again it will call to Cloud Connector on premise. So in case if you are not terms clear with, just hide it, delete. I'll just tell you later. Cloud Connector. You don't have to worry about. Just too simple. In case if you are really interested, in case anytime you cannot just directly your insert a data into server simply. So right now we do have a cloud connector, so every request will go through it and it will just hit into a system. And trust me, there are so many components we do have. We have a tunnel, connectivity tunnel, which passes our data. But right now, this is kind of a holistic picture representation just to show you that these two boxes exist together. In case if someone say, is there any way we can do it? So yes, and where we can look into it, you can might come to api.sap.com, else just click onto this, click on APIs. Okay, and you will see multiple APIs delivered by SAP. And right now, this content or this APIs number will, trust me, shoot up. Right now, within I think within 2-3 days, right now they have released close to 20 APIs. So if you see, all these are 9 days, 10 days, 24 days. So right now there are more than 100, but SAP is releasing very, very quickly this API part. So right now it depends on your business use case. I have seen last time how critical it was for someone to use this particular part. Okay. So guys, any question, just feel free to ask. In case you have not got any point about this particular part, you can just easily ask me here. So I'll be happy to repeat it. Just ask me questions, or you can just put into a chat box. I can just wait for a minute and look into it.
Hi, from Ninarius.
Yes, tell me. Please, yeah, tell me. What is your question?
Yeah, so as far as I understood from your description that uh, only for one scenario where uh, the third party is not exposing or their data, at that time CPI is required. Is that correct understanding? Or
No, so right now it's not about just exposing. Right now, it more depends on what kind of business use case you have it. Okay, so right now that's why I'm saying, because API, in case if you have not heard about, because I know a lot of people who have just started from scratch in this particular course for your API part. Okay, because this is these days very common use case or common question that can we have it together, API and CPI together. So right now, can we make it a call, some kind of OData call directly through CPI from API portal? So yes, that exists definitely. My answer is yes to it. And point is, can where we can see it, what are the different APIs which we can use it. So you click on APIs, you will be able to see. So it more depends on your business use case data, what kind of business use case you have it.
no, but since means API is anyways required, then why is CPI is required? Because I didn't get that part, because API, if APIs are exposed, then data can be fetched or data can be sent, right?
So, okay, so right now,
If an
okay, ask, go ahead.
No, my query is like, if APIs are exposed, then data can be sent or fetched. Then what is the need of CPI in that case?
Okay, that's it.
Uh, Maybe that's a basic one, yeah,
Yeah. So right
but
now,
I'm not.
no, I think your question is very valid. Not there is no such questions as basic or advanced or small or little. I think questions are questions, and I think it's my right now currently job to answer it up. In case if I'm not able, in case if you're not satisfied, might be definitely I'll just try to dig more and let you know. Okay. So right now, definitely as such you mentioned that for your Google Maps, in case if API are exposed, we'll be able to consume it directly. So definitely yes. I'm not saying no. For example, in case if we have to use some kind of a Google Maps API, so definitely yes, will be anyone can just subscribe for that APS, pass the coordinate, whatever the your APS needed, based on it, the response will fetch. But right now, as such, SAP is not that particular straightforward systems. Okay, so right now I'm just talking about not just only one service, because right now when you go to your API, so right now for marketing, so right now just take an example of SAP Marketing Cloud. So there are 44 APIs which are exposed. So in case if you look for this particular APIs, so these are might be one thread which do something specific for you. Okay, but right now when I'm just talking about your in case if you have to make an integration, so right now sometimes it's not that easy just calling from your API portal and your data will be fetched. So there are some kind of a complex use cases we have where we need some kind of integration. And just one more point to it, because I don't want to get more into SOAP or OData. So right now it's not necessary that your on-premise, whatever the on-premise you have it, I'm just talking about this particular on-premise, everything expose the data through your OData. So your CPI has a way which can convert your SOAP data to your OData part also. Okay, because right now every like how SAP traditionally used to work, most of the data they used to expose through SOAP, not through your OData part. Okay, so right now they have some kind of a complexity, which what exactly happens is you try to convert in your CPI SOAP into OData part. So we do have that kind of a use case here, in which you make a request through OData. So sorry, you send a data from your SOAP format, and your CPI it will convert to OData, and might be any other party can consume that particular OData services. So does it helps you?
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so what I understood is to address complex requirement and to convert SOAP to OData. That is why CPI is required between the two.
Yes, you can
Is
just say
that
that.
correct?
Yes, you can just say that, and definitely
Okay,
moving forward,
okay,
I'll just show you more realistic, more practical example, because later I'll just talk about localization and other APIs part will not help you out. Right now, only to have this topic in place was just to tell you that we do have this kind of a scenario exist, because anywhere you go, people don't talk about your APIs part. People click on to discover, they don't worry about, they'll show okay, these are the content which is available onto your CPI, configure, plug, code, copy, push, change, monitor, run. That's it, done, your course is done. But my point is for you to understand that in case if we are into cloud platform, okay, so right now this is a bigger umbrella. So in case if we do have your portal service, in case if you don't know. So in case if you go to services and if you look for API, business hub should be there. So right now your API management is there. So API management and API business hub. So right now everything is there in your cloud platform, and we do have a way that all are in your harmony, or you can say they have a secure fashion to communicate data. So right now that was the reason that you really need to know, because this is one of the interview questions people write and start asking questions. Trust me, few years back no one was talking about APIs in SAP. Hell no, and this number was very very small. This API numbers close to 15 or I think 18. It was launched in 2015, I think close to. But right now I think SAP has speeded to very quickly in this API management part. And right now, in case if you have to use some kind of complex cloud platform workflow or your APIs, or you have to use integration, you need to have a basic right now. Okay, right? Okay, these things exist, and how do we communicate? Okay, so does it help you guys? Or in case if you have a question, just put it into your chat box. Okay, so I think someone asked, does CPI uses API to communicate to different system? No, so this is vice versa. API has an API provider. Okay, let me just put it here only. I think might be again it will just confuse you up. So I think this will might be just help you up. And I'll just do one thing differently, just try to get a system for your API part. Might will just help you up. So API has your API portal. Okay, so then your in this part we have something called your API provider, where you will actually have a connection to your CPI SAP CPI system, and this particular system will call any kind of OData service from backend or on-premise. Let's say. So right now, so once your API, if you go to this API provider, you call API. So first it becomes a product in your portal. Okay. So right now, first it becomes a product, and what exactly you have to do is then you have to might be uh, what do you say, once you do product, you give it a name as a product. Okay, and then we do have some kind of policy, API key. So there are so many options. There are so many actually things which happens into your API portal also. So I don't want to go deep and to this, because again you have to subscribe, it becomes an application, then you can just test it and lot others part. Okay, so these are the different things which actually happens in your API part. Okay, so right now I think the basic intention for having this, I hope it's clear. Might be some kind of information, might be some overwhelming, but I'll just try to just give it a pause here. Might be I'll do one thing. I'll just try to arrange a system for you. Then I can just show you how exactly this happens. Okay. But right now, I think the only single place where you can just find all the relevant details related to your API. So this is the place. Go back, click for your api.sap.com, then your API. So right now I will see a lot of APIs which SAP has released currently. So right now as such API, they have, I think the number is huge, but right now, which is in sync with your cloud platform integration, so they do have close to 102. And might be definitely once we again go more deep into this, I can just definitely help you out more. Okay. So guys, I hope till this particular point it is clear. So let's just do one thing. So right now everyone knows how to come to this particular cloud platform integration box, because for me this is very important, because logically this is how from here we start our journey for your cloud platform integration. Okay, so right now anyone I hope might have gone through demo or my previously sessions. So when we are starting with your cloud platform integration, so there are four things which are quite important. Okay, so right now overall, in case if I have to tell like what we do in our CPI box. So first is your discover. Okay. Second is your design, then you run, and then you monitor. So these are the four things we actually do in your cloud platform integration. Okay. So let me go back to the system. So this is how we have the different your buttons or your workspace, or what you can say menu options. So you can just click onto this particular three tabs. So this will just have the options. Might be first one is your discover, then your design, then your monitor, and then your settings. So might be people would have asked this question that Sam, come on, like PIPO used to have multiple different systems for your configuration, might be for your development, then for many you're maintaining a systems. But trust me, this is a beauty about the CPI. So right now, everything they just try to plug into a single web ID. Okay, your 80 to 90% things will fall in here only. And the biggest difference which I do see, because I have worked long time on PIPO also, PIPO, I believe definitely that's true that they are extensive, they are stable compared to CPI, but trust me, right now the route it has taken it up because SAP is acquiring companies left and right, as I mentioned. Okay, so right now for them it's very important to integrate. And right now, what kind of examples should I have given you? I'm not sure you understand how critical the CPI will become in future, because first of all they do have your different cloud solutions, then your point solution, third party, and a lot of things. So this will be very important. So right now what happens is, once you go inside your cloud platform integration, so first tab is your discover. So once you click on to discover, you will see complete your all the contents which is available onto your cloud platform integration. So right now, as such, we do have your 336 content, which is available onto your this tenant. So right now, this number will be, I think, general only, because right now how the billing and all this happens, it depends on your subscription basis. So might be that calculation will not get into. So right now, as such, we do have 336 artifacts, or 336, sorry. These are the number of packages or content which is available for your CPI box. Okay. So right now, this is the single place where we can find content for your Concur, Reba, SuccessFactor, your on-premise, S4, Qualtrics, Calidus, core system, and so much more. Okay, so right now, in case if you are overwhelmed with this particular part, so what exactly you can do is, how we can first of all filter what kind of a content we do have it, okay, in our system. So right now, one way is, in case if you actually know your might be component, might be, let's say, Ariba, and click on search. So right now it will show you that we do have 4 packages, which is for your Ariba, might be your SAP Ariba APIs enable innovation, or your SAP ERP S4 HANA integration with Ariba, your supply base, or your Ariba network with SAP Business. So right now this is clubbing API also, because this is the sign of API, this is a sign of your this is the sign of your package. So might be this will be 336 336 minus 102. Okay, so right now, suppose this is the one and I'm really new to this part, so I really want to filter out based on some kind of a logical way. Okay, so how more logically you can fragment? So definitely we do have a way to fragment this part. So what we can do is, we can just click onto this filter part. So once we just click onto the filter, we do have a different kind of a platform. So right now, we'll just say, as I mentioned, supported platforms, your SAP Cloud Platform Integration, API management, and then you have vendors, then your line of business, then you have industry, then you have products, country wise, and lot more. So right now we do have as such a lot of options available. So I think really, in case if you want to explore, might be you can just do one by one based on different things. So right now, let me just choose platform as your SAP Cloud Platform Integration. Then might be, in case if I'm looking for vendor like SAP, definitely yes. Okay, then they have line of business. So right now, let me click onto this. Your sales, service, finance, marketing, supply chain, commerce. So there are different options. We do have it. Okay, so let's say I want to explore more regarding sales. I'll click on OK. So right now, so these are the different packages related to your sales. Okay, across all the business, all the industries. So right now we have not selected any industries or any product as such. So you will see all the packages, you will be able to see it out. And you can just easily click onto this package, and you will see different kind of details. So right now this is as simple as that you can easily explore these options, in case if you want to might do based on product, because the most common option is your product, definitely, no doubt about it. Because in case if you're working with, suppose, Employee Central, then working with SAP S4 HANA, might be S4 HANA, I think this is the one. Click on OK. So right now we do have 10 packages as such for your employee SAP SF. then your ERP to SuccessFactor, your S4 HANA Cloud integration with SuccessFactor. So these are the different packages. You do have it available with you as such. Okay. So right now this is very much important in case if you're trying to explore the first time how exactly you can just filter it out, because this will help you to narrow down your approach. And how I can say that? Okay. So right now as such we don't have anything checked. Click on let me search. So right now by default, sorry, I think. Okay, so right now let me search for SAP Cloud for customer. Okay, so right now it's just showing me 68 packages. Sometimes we are not very sure about what kind of are the packages are correct, deprecated. And the biggest challenge why I'm saying trying to use your filter is right now the renaming of products. Okay, because there are so many products which are going a huge transformational names as such. Because let's say I think let's say Calidus, okay, or Qualtrics. Previously, might their naming convention or how we used to filter it out, it's might little change. Okay, and then sometime might be whatever the packages we are using, it gets let's say deprecated. Let's say if I say SAP Cloud for customer with success factor. So right now, in case if you just try to use something like this kind of a string, you'll not be able to have your package found. So sometimes it's good option to drill down more, use this kind of a filters, because as we have seen some time back, in case if we choose product, your SAP SuccessFactor Cloud, SuccessFactor Employee Center, and might be your SAP Cloud for customer. Click on OK. So right now we do have one package. Okay, because I'm just trying, I have not put the correct string, but right now this will help you out. So right now, always whenever you are into this particular screen where you have to discover it, because in case you are able to correct or you are able to find the right package for you, things become very easy. Okay, so right now let's, I hope this particular filter part is clear. So I hope you can filter out based on products, business, supported platforms, and much more. Okay, so right now let's say I am happy and I've got my let's say package. So right now let me just select one of this package, SAP S4 HANA Utility Integration with SAP Marketing Cloud. So right now once you just discover your package, so again there are different things we do see inside it. So whatever the information you see, these are very critical. Okay, and why do I say? Because when you say like mode, so mode is one important thing, because it will tell you that your whatever the package SAP has released it is editable or non-editable. Okay, can you able to extend it or not? Can you, what are different things we can do it? So right now, anytime in case if you get into your any of package, first of all just check the version, when was the last published. So you see today's 1st of Feb, and this was published last on your 29th of January. As such, I'll not be able to show you the log trail of this particular part, but this time last it was published on 29th January. And why I can say that? Because the version is 1.0.3. So already this previous versions would be there. So you see here also created 12th Feb 2019, we do have it. This was already originally created. Okay, so first of all, we should definitely go through this particular information, that what is version, mode, it's editable, non-editable, then published. Then your overview will just give you that what exactly this particular content do. So this integration of the SAP S4 utilities with marketing cloud features replication process to replicate your specific data, might be some utility specific data, your contract account, contract premise, billing, and consumption data. So this particular package, whatever the artifact or the integration flow we have inside this, it will just replicate this below part. So right now going through this overview part, then might be artifact. So right now today I'll not be talking about more about artifact. We'll just start tomorrow about how we can go dig deeper into it. But you have this few tags, then your overview, just tell you holistically about your what exactly this package has and what exactly it do. Artifact is your integration flow, so we'll just look into it tomorrow. Then we do have your documents, your setup instruction, your product instance, change log. So this is standard. It will be very helpful for you guys to use it for you to might for the configuration part. Then tags, then your ratings. So all these things are very, very important. Right now, I will say might be some why tags, why ratings, how this can help anyone. So might be once you just copy it into your own design space, in case if you are trying to do some kind of a global global deployment, so might be I'll just tell you how tags will help you, and you will be surprised to see because I have seen while having one of the large implementation for this using CPI. So everything has a logic, but right now definitely we need to explore it. Okay. So right now, so again, so these are the different tabs we have. Your tags, rating, same way. Let's explore something else. Might be as we have selected last time your success factor. So right now, as such, we do have so many integration. So right now, recently, I think with NGA they have released one more your content. I think this is the previous one. So there are so many integration. They do have it with your on-premise for your might be some organizational data, might be some employee data with as such cloud for customer, third-party vendors, might be then for your payroll. So let me just click any of the one. So right now, see it has first of all this particular package has whatever the integration flow they have. So right now these are the different processes to hire, leave of absence, leave from a return from leave of absence, termination, rehire, transfer, global assignment, concurrent employment, event driven integration, support at fixed term employee and rehire with new employment. So these are the different functionality. Don't go into the name integration. Just go with these are this package support. These are the different functionalities. Okay. Package ID when it was first created. So this was created on June 29th, June 2017. Then again, these are different your functionalities. Let's not call them integration. Let's just call them functionality. Then your documents, which will help you to install it or it'll help you to configure it. I think configuration is the right one in your cloud terms, your tags, and then your ratings. Okay. So these are the different things we do have onto your discover tab. Okay. But I think you should definitely be very smart about filtering it out because sometimes your searching parameter might be is not subtle or simple or might be exact. You should definitely use particular filter criteria based on your product, line of business, and might be it can be a vendor. So right now these are the different things you can do it. Apart from it, in case if you are exploring some kind of a vendor, so right now SAP is just trying to become an open community everywhere. Okay, so this is kind of a proven. Might be in case if you go to API management, they have community. They have for your CPI also. They do have similar kind of a community. So how we can say that might be. Let me just select Rojo white paper. So right now, because what exactly third party or vendor do? So right now they develop might be some kind of specific functionalities onto the CPI. So for example, like Salesforce adapter. Okay. So right now, I said this is very critical because SAP is CPI Salesforce is very much booming into the market. Okay. And right now everyone is looking for integration. So right now might be some third party has developed this your Salesforce adapter, which you can just reuse it and you can have your started your scenario. So right now SAP just to make sure in case if people subscribe where exactly the money goes. So you understand that Rojo will be able to make money out of this. So right now, what exactly this supports? So supports for 18 Salesforce version, query and research, secure connection, exist regeneration for mapping, streaming notifications, detailed trace for extra log. So right now, in case if you don't know adapters, so that's pretty much fine. As such, I'll just tell you what exactly your adapters are and how you can just work with it. Let me uncheck Rojo. Let me see if someone has put it some kind of your integration flow. Smart mostly are related to functionality or some add-on top of build onto it. Let's click on this part. So right now I think this is one more vendor. So right now this package contains behavior XML to flat convertible module. So right now these are third-party vendor your packages. Might be in case if you have requirement, you can just easily look into it. Well, it just depends like what are the different features we do have available here in your cloud platform integration. So right now, I think this is pretty much basic. So right now, how once you log into your cloud platform integration, so how you'll be able to discover the content you have it. So guys, any questions here? Any question as such you have it? Okay, just one more thing. So right now, I think someone asked some time back about this API when we just talk about API and benefits. So right now, I think there are a lot of benefits of such one topic, your API part, because right now that is first of all very much seamlessly integrated. We do have a kind of a global deployments. We have some kind of a whatever the API we're using. We do have real-time analytics, security, audit. It's kind of a scalable, accessible, and kind of monetizable also. Okay, so there are a lot of advantages we do have it, and right now, trust me, I think the coming days, your application stack, your integration with third party will be very different. Okay. Okay, let me just go to the question app. So right now I see a lot of questions here. What other types are available apart from package in discover tab? So right now, in case of your first time, so only we do have a packages because your artifacts are bundled in your together in package. Okay. So the second one was you shown package success factor integration. How do we know which source system is compatible to integrate with success factor? So right now, as such, we do have a pre-packaged content, and right now you should not worry about which system we can integrate because we do have some functionalities. Whatever the data format we are sending it, we will be able to convert it, and they will be able to consume it. Your two different systems. So right now we should not go that part because again this will create confusion. So we do have concept in your CPI, which in case if your success factor science data in some different format, we will be able to consume it. So we'll just get into that particular bit also. In SF, there are other than EC module as well. So there is a no package for this. No, so right now there is SH no. So right now because for your we do have a lot of packages for your success factor. I think I have shown you close to 57 packages we do have for your success factor. Click onto this. I hope all the filters are cancelled. Let me just do one thing, cancel all. Let me see. I think 22. Okay, yeah. So right now we have total for your success factor employee central. We do have 28 packages. We do have it. So right now I think there are different things we do have it because I think this is to your SuccessFactors Employee Central to ERP employee data. So this is organizational data. I think it was previously connected very tightly with your HCM system, your human capital management, because I'm sure I have seen that particular interfaces also, your packages also. So they have integration even with Fieldglass. So right now I see S4 Fieldglass, your Cloud for Customer, then your Norway payroll, NGA payroll. Trust me, they have so many. They have for S4 HANA Cloud, they have for your master and organizational data to your SAP ERP or your S/4HANA. ERP might be they're referring to that HCM component, which is your human capital management component. So right now there are so many there are so many things we do have it. So once you go inside one of the package, then you will see there are so many different features, or let's say call it as a feature. We'll just define might be artifacts in our own terms so that you can just easily understand. Okay, anything just put into it into box. Okay, so guys, I'll just do one thing. Might be I'll just try to give a recap for you because I'm not sure that how much API you'll be able to make it out. Okay, but we'll just try to I'll just try to put more easy in terms of might be if I can just show you the system how API will help you. Our API can leverage CPI to expose some data from on-premise and can be used to any internet applications. Okay, I think this is your API part, and then yeah, API part, yes, and then how we can actually start with your cloud platform integration. Again, 4 tabs we do have it: discover, design, run, and monitor. So first of all, today we have talked about APIs and discover part. In case we just click on directly integration, so right now it will just show the 234 part. That's it. So right now, yes. So for today, I think this is pretty much it from my side. So do you have any other questions, anyone? Okay. So right now,
Sam,
yes, please go ahead.
a small question from my side. So, can we create our custom APIs or can we upload our APIs in this API portal?
No, no. So right now, I think for API, you see, API is a standard which SAP exposes for you. Okay. So right now, it more about they do have some kind of service catalogs. When you're trying to configure it, you will be able to choose, or in case if you have subscribed to what particular APIs bundle or package, then based on it, so you will be able to just configure it and you will be able to use this. There are one more concept comes in API, so might be that's only the tricky one in your API. How you can just manipulate more API part. So might be in case if I get a system, then I'll be able to show you how exactly it will work out API portal. Because that's actually very different in case if you're working on SAP domain, because might be people are not used to this kind of a web screens or web ID because previously SAP has on-premise. So yeah.
Okay, sir. Actually, I have seen some scenarios
Uh,
with integration with SAP Hybrid e-commerce.
hmm.
Like we have created our custom OData APIs, OData services, and they have registered in some other middleware from where CPI is calling. So I don't know exactly why they are registering in some other API. That part I was not clear, but
See,
actually they are registering this API.
see, one important point I'll just talk about is when you say exposing the data. So right now, I think you can just do with any one of it. Okay, so it all depends on how people wants to access data and where they want to get that, where they want to fetch the data. So let's just take one small example. Let's say you do have an on-premise. Might be you have created some kind of a custom objects. Might be let's say expense or like inventory. Might be they exist. I'm just saying right now you have created some kind of function module or functionalities, and right now you have created through OData service. You have exposed through OData service. You can just easily consume that particular OData service. Might be you can map it and you can just show it. But it more depend on like where exactly they want to show it. So right now these are very common scenarios. So right now in case if you want to expose the data in Boomi, so Boomi can easily consume this particular OData service, and they might be can easily map it to anything, and they can be consumed by any other third-party applications.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just do one thing. We'll just try to, whenever the session is, I think 1 or 2 hours will take a time to convert into a good quality video. So once that is done, I will be able to upload this particular session. Okay. So guys, I think this is pretty much it from my side for today. Might be then tomorrow we'll just start going into standard content. Might be we'll just try to create your packages or your how we can just start having our own things. Then might be how we can just try to might be started hitting your CPI tenant with the help of SOAP adapter, Postman, and different systems. We'll just try to hit it so that first of all how we can get input into a system, and then as such as an integration developer, then how we'll be able to proceed with it. Okay, so there are different things we do have it in coming sessions, but for tomorrow we'll be talking more about your packages and then your standard integration content. Okay, so thank you so much everyone for joining it. In case if you have any questions, any query, because I understand there will be definitely few questions, and I think it will be good. Whatever the questions you can just drop me email or just drop me email, or might be tomorrow before starting or after the session. We can just have one kind of a question sessions. Okay, thank you so much. So hi everyone, very warm welcome to this new session on SAP Cloud Platform Integration. So we'll just do one thing, as we'll just start what we have learned yesterday, and then we'll just start the new topics, whatever we have planned for today. Okay. So yesterday, I think first we started with what kind of a business use case we have apart from your business transaction or like a normal business use case we do have in SAP. So right now, definitely this tool is evolving. So we do have different kind of things which is possible with the help of your SAP Cloud Platform Integration, your Internet of Things, event processing, then might be your data integration, access, and data quality. So there are different options we do have it. So coming to the next part, so right now your API management. So right now, yesterday I just try to keep the basics of your APIs and how they do exist together. So let me just open the system parallelly also. Let me click onto it. So right now, yesterday when I was trying to just show you about your API management API portal. So right now, again, in case if you want to go to services and check what are the different options we do have for your API portal. Okay, so I think someone sent me the question also that like API will be also act as a service like how cloud platform. So right now, everything, whatever we do have available features available in cloud platform is mostly treated as a service only. Okay, so right now API management was quite important for us because from here only we'll be able to start how they can be in your one box, where I've just shown you one simple example. So right now in this particular example, I've just talked about scenarios which we cannot just directly expose. Might be because right now SP has a lot of huge functionality which is not right now able to expose on terms of auditor. Might be there are some functionalities which can only be gone through your SOAP. That's one example which I have talked about. So right now in that particular scenario, I have shown you how with the help of your API accessing CPI, again then we do have your cloud connector, secure tunnel, accessing your on-premise data, which further can might be integrated with your data source or third-party vendors. Okay, so I think the clear example which I was talking about your because mostly right now in case if I give example more of consumer centric, then for you it will be a little easy, as I've given you the example of Uber. Okay, in case if in single app you want to have your Uber Foods, or Uber Ride. So right now where we can just do that. So for that particular bit, I think I just try to put it, why do we need API? In case if we have to bring different sources of data into one portal. So right now your API management will be a very good part of API management will be a very good fit for that kind of an application. Okay, so right now there are different examples I can give you. So right now I can give you example of some kind of a manufacturing company. For there might be some CRM purpose, they are using some kind of a Salesforce, but might be their billing, delivery, and everything they are using some kind of your SAP backends. Okay, so might be they want to have some kind of a common UI with the help of which they will be access different your services of your on-premise or Salesforce in a single place. So that kind of pretty much things we do have it with your API. This topics get very vast, but right now only point was just to tell you how much there are APIs which you can easily access through CPI and it can be easily consumed. Okay, so again, there were a lot of advantages of your API, as I mentioned, like one platform, seamless integration, global deployment, real-time analysis, your security part, audit part, because right now whatever the API, any in case if company subscribe for, so whatever the number of times they use it, they have to pay it. Same for example, like we have seen in Google Maps. So anytime in case if Ola has taken Google Maps API, anytime any end user using their application hits a Google Maps API, so they have to so Google charge to Ola. Okay, so right now similarly SAP in your portal also everything is in place so that you can easily audit it in case if you want to. Yeah, for audit purpose it's very important, and for companies like SAP it's very easily monetizable. And the last part was it was scalable, accessible, and you can easily use this particular API part. So this was I was just talking about your API management. Then again, we just talked about your what is API portal, then provider, and how you can easily do it. So thinking of this particular example, I know it can be sometimes tricky to understand this part. So right now is trying to arrange a portal API part, and might be once we are close to the last session, so I'll be able to show you one example so that for you picture would be a little clear how exactly this particular flow will happen and how with the help of HTTPS call we can from like your internet call we can easily access the on-premise or SAP business hub your data. Okay, so might well just help you out with that particular bit. So for you that would be a little easy. Okay, so this I was talked about your API. So right now I think this is a similar example because yesterday I don't want to bombard with you a lot of data. So right now this is one kind of an example where if we do have some kind of a portal, I think it's easy to develop. It can be easily consumed by any web apps, and with the help of pure your security integrate, you can just connect with the SAP on-premise system. Same way we do have some kind of again this diagram was there to just explain you up how easy with the help of your API management, whatever the gateway portal or API portal, it is so easy to consume the data from your databases backend, and you can just easily show to the user part. Okay, so this is what we have discussed yesterday. And I think jumping down to the most important bit, we do have it for our use case, which is your cloud platform integration. So again, we'll just start the journey from here, the cloud platform integration, and we'll just talk more about where we have left off from the yesterday. So yesterday, first we have discussed about whenever we are into this discover tab. So there were four important things in this particular SAP cloud platform integration. Your discover, your design, you run it, and you monitor it. So this is the four important steps we do have in your cloud platform integration. Okay. So right now coming back again to this particular bit. So right now when I just click on discover, it shows the combination of my APIs and integration. So suppose right now I just want to see my integration flows. So I think you can definitely differentiate between API and your integration with the help of the small what kind of icon which is given here. Okay, so right now you see easily reachable across the globe sign. So right now this is for your APIs. So let me filter it out for the integration part, and then you will be able to filter out your integration. So then yesterday we have seen that we'll be able to see what exactly we have in our package, your overview, your artifacts, your documents, your tags, your ratings. Okay. And last important part was how we'll be able to filter it out based on different criteria as we do have it. So right now your vendor, your line of business, industry, product, countries, and right now much more filters we do have it. Okay. So this was about how we are able to filter out our content. So right now this is what we have discussed yesterday. So again, I think there was one or two questions I see. So right now one was regarding the document part. So definitely you don't have to worry. Document part, I'll just tell you what exactly is the way you can follow the documents. Okay. So I think going further, so right now in case if you want to have more details about this cloud platform integrations, because every time we go inside this application, there are sea change of functionalities which are coming it out. Okay, so might be in case if you're using it for first time, might be for you to be a little challenge. But in case if someone has worked with this previous versions of SAP CPI, for them it will be not that much of surprise. So anytime in case you want to have more information about your cloud platform integration, so what you can do is you can just click on this about. So it will just tell you two important things, which is your builder number and then which is your tenant. So tenant is kind of a unique ID with the help of which you will be able to recognize your tenant, and your build number is the one which is currently right now, which is the latest version of your cloud platform integration. So every time we do have new releases, then your might be the version, might be some kind of, in case if they release some kind of hot fix. So every time SAP has different ways to release your application. So this is the build number. It becomes sometimes important, so that in case if any feature is missing or there is might be in case of your role is not proper assigned, you should be able to look which is my currently build number. Okay, and the tenant is how we specifically unique this particular tenant. So right now, as such, initially as I mentioned that every URL has their own qualities. Okay, so right now I think last time I also talked about this particular bit. So right now, in case if anytime you see this kind of a URL, so everything has a logic. So I think this is uniquely recognize your tenant. Let me just call it as, okay, so this is your tenant. TML will be across all the tenants URL will be there because this is your tenant management node, and this is more related to your architecture of it. HCI, this is how the previous name we have given for your HCI. What was initially this name of this part? Your HANA Cloud Integration. So this remains same. Then .ap1, this means that this is Asia Pacific. This particular tenant where which particular servers or data center is running it, it's on your Asia Pacific one. So might be you will see US one or different. It depends on where your data center is or which one is closed data centers you have it. HANA is just a database. They just keep it for across your right now all the cloud applications. On demand right now, whenever whatever the application you try to access through internet, it becomes on demand. Okay, so this is the logically meaning of your URL. Okay, this will definitely come up. What is exactly IT spaces, shell, and integration? Okay, so this is just a basic about it. And right now, getting one more step into it. So right now, this is definitely can be case that might be your colleagues are also working on your CPI. So let me just click onto something. So right now, this is one package. Okay, just think one custom package is there. So not a problem. So right now, definitely there will be few options which you will not be able to see or which you will not be have with your user. Okay. So right now for today, the example is for your transport management. Okay. Okay, so right now this one example, why right now it's important, because might be in case if you don't see any option, might will say like why, might be I have not discussed about it, or what exactly is the reason behind it. So right now, why I'm just taking the example, because some might be users have some kind of symbols. Like for this particular part, I don't see any transport signal there, or transport symbol, I should say, which with the help of which we will be able to transport our content. Okay, because right now we do have just this four tabs: your discover, design, your operations, and then your tenant setting. That's it. As such, nothing we do have it, and we are not able to enable it. So just guys, remember it anytime in case if you don't see any functionality, so you have to check it somewhere. So where you'll, in case if this is the case, where are you going to check? Anyone? So where do we can just check your that my this particular option is missing. So where I can just enable for myself. Anyone? Any guesses here? Because I really want for you guys that you will be able to have that kind of a mindset that you should be able to navigate to the right part. So I think right now, I think someone has mentioned roles. Yes, I think definitely we do have something called roles. As such, in tenant settings will not be able to make it out. So right now, let me again go back to your tenant. So I think this was one of the sub accounts. When I click onto it, let me just go to your subscriptions. Then let me go to your tenant management notes. Then I go to your roles part. And then I look for in case if we have something related to transport. Okay, sorry, I think I have. So right now, yes, so this is the one rule which is important for you in case if you want to transport your content. So in case if this role is assigned to your user, so whatever the logged in users you have, you will be able to see the transport option. Okay, so right now, why I'm just talking about transport, because right now as such there is a no need to talk about your transport or anything. The point is when people start this particular thing, so in case if they don't see the option, they freak out, or like what exactly the option is missing, or are we are not doing the right way. So have the little patience with you while going through this particular course. Might be after 2-3 more weeks, I think for you picture will be little clear and you might be comfortable with this particular tenant also. Okay, so right now I'll just put this particular example. Okay, so in case if you have to do it, just check in roles. Roles in SCP. SCP stand for your SAP Cloud Platform. Okay, so right now in case if you anytime don't see any particular option or you don't have the particular rights, just make sure you do have your proper access. But in case if you have to start having your content, developing integration flow and deploying it, so right now for that particular part you just need this particular four roles. Okay, your auth group business expert, administrator, integration developer, and then your system developer. So this is about in case if you don't see and how you have to look through into it. So right now, I think today, again, very important things we do have it. So yesterday we have mostly talked about your how we can just see what kind of a content we are looking for. But right now we have to proceed further because this is important to understand what are the different packages we have and how we can use for our use case. Okay, so right now I think yesterday we just talked mostly about your say discover part. So right now today what I'll be doing it, I'll be just going through your different tabs. Might be your uh, your design tab, or you can say your workspace. There are different names we do have it. Then we do have your operations tab, which is mostly for monitor and very other important things. Then we do have your tenant settings. So we do have a lot of things we do have it. Let me just go to your design part. So right now when you go to this particular design tab, so this is the place where you will be able to create new packages, or in case if you want to have custom package, or in case if you want to develop your own your artifacts integration flow. So all the custom things which you want to do for any of your use cases, you will be doing in your design part. So we'll be talking today about how we can just start with it. Your third tab is your monitor. So I'm going to talk today mostly about holistically. So what are the different places or what we do? Okay, we don't jump into it so that we'll have more kind of a confusion. So we'll just see what are the different options we have, and gradually we'll just try to learn other important things. Okay, so right now for discover you can just have your custom packages, or in case if you want to use some standard, you will be able to do it here. Then in case if you want to monitor your data, so this is a tab monitoring. So might be there are different things we do have your monitoring message, education content, material, manage stores, access logs, manage logs. So everything is quite important right now. So right now you just have to remember that in case if you process the message, you will be able to hear in this particular tab, you will be able to monitor it up. So I think the last tab is your set tenant settings part. Right now this is very important because it just talks about what exactly the product profile we have. So by default it will be always SAP Cloud Platform Integration. Then your transport part, because right now as such we don't have any right, so we do have CTS and other ways to transport it. And definitely once we are into transport phase, I'll tell you that how you'll be able to transport whatever the custom you have to your production system, and what are the best approaches to do that part. And your last part is your ES repository. So guys, any one of you heard about any time ES repository? Anyone has worked with your what I should say PIPO? Anyone has worked? Anyone has heard about ES repository? It's because this is quite important again. In case if someone has heard, just put into a chat box. That's it. ES stands for Enterprise Service Repository. Okay, cool. People has heard about it. So right now, whenever we just create a content, okay, in PIPO, so there is some there are two or three things very important. So ESR is one of the places where we actually play around with the content part. So as you know, initially SAP, most of the customers are on-premise landscape. So they have invested huge onto the on-premise landscape. Okay. So because they do have kind of integration between different on-premise components like CRM, HCM, ERP, your SRM. So there are like multiple number of components we do have it. So right now, how does the communication between happens? So previously it was used to be PI, but customers want to make sure that whatever the investment they have done it on premise, it should not go on vain. It should not be good for a waste. So right now, what exactly SAP has done is, so they have given something called ES repository. Okay, with the help of this particular ES repository, in case we want to make a connection with your on-premise PIPO, and in case if you want to bring back some kind of a pre-packaged content, you don't want to again develop it, so you'll be able to reuse that particular content in SAP CPI. So this is one of the very important things, and this can be very handy for you because might be you will be able to fetch the content directly with the help of this ES repository. So, but definitely there are constraints to it. It's not that as simple as that, because uh, everything which PIPU support, it's not available onto your CPI. But trust me guys, this is very flexible tool compared to PIPU. I definitely understand that again, there are different features, but think of a case, that particular tool took close to 15 years to get stable, and we cannot expect the tool from a tool like CPI to get in your 4 or 5 years. But this I can just say very clear, this is one of the very, very important topic CPI will become in coming years, because in SP it will be more and more about integration. In case if customer has to be delivered your holistically business value. Okay, so this is again important points. And ES repository, so you have to have in your mind, in case for tenant setting we do have product profile, your transport, or your ES repository, your enterprise service repository. Okay, so I think there is one question in the chat box which I do see. Do we have dev, test, pre-production and production CPI? So I think when you say this kind of a use case, it more depends on what kind of a business case you have. In case if you have very large kind of your implementation, because I have seen global rollout using CPI, they have your dev, test and production, not pre-production. I have seen this three pre-prod. I think is companies like some kind of very critical, very important dataware player role, like your banking. But I have not seen your pre-prod. But I think in case if you want to get your system, I think it's very plug and play. As such, we don't have the problem. And going forward, how do I see in your in cloud in terms? If I have to be very honest about it, I only see two landscape. Your dev and quality behaves like one, and then your production. Because the only reason is the functionalities are very plug and play. So right now they are like in one box functionality. They are not like that much extensible. What do we see? We used to see in on-premise. Okay, so having this many landscape and making sure, seeing the duration of your cycle, like how many a CPI project takes, like 3 months, 4 months, that's it. It's not like, yeah, your yearly investment on your like we used to do on premise. Okay, so I think it more depends on your business use case, that you want to have this kind of a multiple tenants or multiple architecture of your releases. Okay. Okay, let me see what next. Okay, cool. So this is one part of it. So right now let me just do one thing. Let me jump into my last part, discover tab. Let me go to your integration. So right now, suppose you are, let me just take today an example of success factor, because I think mostly people are looking for success factor, S4 or this kind of components. So right now, let's say we do have your these 28 packages, which is for your payroll. Okay, so right now let me just do one thing. Whatever the payroll or whatever the package today, I'm gonna show you the example of it. Let me just take just copy it. Okay, so this is a one. Anyone, in case if you want to be specific, let me know. I don't have problem. And might be I can just take this Norway payroll. So right now both are for your payroll only. This is your NGHR and then your Norway payroll. So right now, suppose I have figured out that after coming into the business, that these are the your packages which I really need to use it for myself. Okay, so what I can do is I can go and click on this particular bit. I'll again go through details. Yesterday we have gone through all the details of that particular package. For example, like what this package about, and then what exactly is the description. For might be for this is your global assignment, concurrent employment, add fixed term employee, rehire with new employment. So might be this package do a lot of things, and I really see this is a fit for my business use case. Let's just take this example. So right now, in case we want to copy it to your, because right now you'll not be able to edit, or you cannot just do anything. You'll not see any kind of a button. And guys, one more request: whenever you go or jump into any of this kind of a content, don't just get to conclusion, okay, this is my purpose, let me just do copy and come out of it. So this is approach I have my all life. So right now, whenever you just jump into something, just don't hurry it up. Just see what are the different options in terms of software. What are the different things you see in the screen, because might be you will be able to connect the dots when you go further. Okay, that okay, there was not that particular option, and how can I play around it here? Okay, so right now you'll not see any option like edit, delete. Might be coming, might be when we go to a design part. So there are some options which gets enable it up. So that's how it differentiate between your discover and your design. So discover tab just show you what are the content which is available to us. Okay. So right now, in case if I want to enable this part or I want to work with this particular content, okay, so you see this mode is configure only. So let me just copy this particular bit. So I have copied this particular your package. Okay, so right now once package is copied, let me go to this particular edit button part. So right now again I have to search it. So might be this list can go on and on and on. So right now might be this shows your 2nd Feb. Uh, this is today, might be the server time is different. So you'll be, I know this is the one because in case if your list goes long of your packages, might be your custom package, it's always good that we just copy it and write or just search it out. I think it for you it will be a little easy. Okay, so right now you see this is my one of packages. Okay, so right now when I see this particular package, you might have seen one thing very different. So which is your mode. So this is just you can just configure this particular content. Okay, so right now yesterday might have shown you. Let me just duplicate this. So right now after copying this particular from discover to design this particular package, so right now it will fall under design. This is how you actually navigate between how you differentiate or how you'll be able to make it out. So right now this is in my custom. So I do see a lot of options, your edit, export, delete package, and what are the different artifacts. Okay, but first of all, getting into it, the important thing is package. So right now, what exactly is the meaning of package? In case if you want to bundle the functionalities and keep it in a one place. For example, like might be this is of your success factor. Okay, might be this is again my complete payroll part. I want to keep everything in together in a one place. So I can create a package, and again in package, everything will fall into a one place. So right now might we'll have again a lot of questions we'll have when you see this particular screen. So let me click onto this. Let me click on to the artifacts. So right now when we go to artifacts, so there are different kind of artifacts we do have. Okay, so right now artifacts is nothing but your integration flow. Okay, so let me just help you out what exactly is your integration flow. So artifact is just collection of integration flow, as simple as definition to understand it. But right now I think you have to understand one more important things. Whenever you are might be application developer, so I hope right now by this time we'll be able to differentiate between what exactly is the difference between your application and your integration developer. So whenever you start working with any language, might be your ABAP, Excel, Python, there are like multiple number of languages we do have it. Okay, so anytime we start working with a language, so your main job is to make sure whatever the functionalities, functional logic might be, for example, in case if you're talking about transactional, so it's more about processing a data. For example, how we'll be able to capture a sales order, might be adding an item to it, writing some kind of actions like for statuses and different things. So that's more about when you use application developer, you have more have mindset towards developing an object like your sales order, purchase order, service request, and again go on, the list will go on. But right now, whenever you are integration developer, your important job is that how you process the message and how you can adapt it. Okay. So let me just design, just put it something for you so that you can easily understand. Okay, so right now this is one of the examples which I just want to show you up. So right now in this particular case, what does happens is, so right now first of all, why we are using integration flow. So we do understand it might be we want to fetch the data from on-premise or for some kind of a business use case. As everyone knows, right now let's talk in terms properly, just very clear about your SAP. Might be that there is a case that SAP on-premise has most of your master and transactional data, and companies are moving towards your cloud applications like your S4 cloud, might be your C4 HANA, where you have more your sales service cloud application. Okay, but right now company has invested a lot on your on-premise. So they don't want to waste it, they want to reuse it. So that's why they are using some kind of a middleware tool, which is your CPI, and by which you want to send the data. So let me just so right now what exactly happens is, so right now let's say this is your on-premise data. I'll just try to make it more realistic. So right now this is your on-premise ERP data, and this is just guess your CPI tenant. And these are your multiple receivers. Mhm. So right now we do have here multiple receivers. So what exactly happens is, so let's just think of a case that your on-premise systems want to expose data, and right now they want to send it to your some kind of a cloud application. Let me just give the name of some cloud application also. Might be your SAP Sales Cloud, or your Success Factor. Might be because in case if you want to fetch some kind of organizational data, so definitely you have to fetch it from your on-premise same component. So these are the different components we do have it. So as an integration developer, so what does integration flow means? So whatever the message your ERP system sends, might be, suppose let's say an example, in case if you want to have your master data or business partner to get replicated to your sales cloud. So what does happens is, from this particular system, we trigger that data, and in your CPI box, or your this cloud platform integration, we will process the particular message which SAP ERP has sent, and we will just make sure it adapts to your sales cloud. So why I said why it need to have adapt, and might be you can just link it with adapter also in coming session. Right now we are just talking about your just SAP application, but think of a case that might be your ERP talks in terms of only SOAP, and right now they have just data mostly in terms of your simple object access protocol, and your Salesforce system has to accept the data in some other format, might be some kind of other format like OData v4. Okay, so right now in this kind of a cases, in case if someone has opted for your let's say CRM as Salesforce rather than having SAP Sales Cloud, so what exactly they will do it? So they will use might be CPI to expose the data so that it can, this particular integration can adapt the data or transform it, mold it, how Salesforce can consume it. Okay, so in this particular case, so this particular dotted line you see, these are called channels. Okay, so these two lines are called channels. So channels means by which path or how exactly it will go to your receiver. So this becomes your sender of whatever the message you have. Then in this your CPI box, you will process the message. And there are, trust me, when we go inside your CPI, there are like humongous number of options we do have in your CPI, so that we can just process the data so that it can be transformed and your Salesforce system can consume it. So right now, definitely this is your sender, this is your receiver, as simple as that. So for you, this is very important to understand, because in any time, in case if you want to see how you can process the message in your CPI box, so you have to understand that you have your sender and then you have your receiver. Okay, and you are here. So this particular box is this CPI box where you will make connections to your sender and your receiver. But this particular place, you will be able to process your messages. Okay, so this becomes very, very important for you. And why I have done at like multiple receiver, because there can be chances that when we just try to send our data, there can be multiple receiver. Okay, so this is definitely a use case that in terms, if it more depends on your business use case. Okay, but you can have multiple receiver and multiple sender even onto your CPA part. So this is the one reason, and where your CPI box play role. So this is the one thing. Now going down the next part. So right now, as I mentioned, your package which we have just used, we are taking example of your success factor. So right now we have just copied this particular package. So right now package, I have told clearly the package will just group all your functionalities. Then so your package have your details, your documents, tags, comments, and your artifacts. And artifacts has your integration flows, which tells for what specific integration flow, how it's going to process the message. Okay, so might be there are different mode we do have for your how we can process it. Might be, let's take some other example for this particular bit. And in case if you want to delete any packages, I think it's very a simple option we do see here. Click on delete and you'll be able to delete it out. So there are again multiple combinations we do have in terms of package. We'll just go through all the things. Let me again go to your integration part. Let me search for your again some success factor, but more kind of a transaction so that people can understand that particular business. Because mostly I see. Okay, so let me just take these two package. Both are I hope editable. So this is editable, good. So you check marketing and your field service management. Okay, both are editable. So we'll just do one thing. We'll just take the example of this particular one because these are editable. So I'll just tell you, might be again going down the line, that how we can uh, use your configure and what is the difference between your editable. So there is actually a difference between both of the ones. So right now, let me just say, in case if I have to work with my marketing cloud, let me go into this. I want to copy this package because based on my business requirement, this fits the scenario. Let me just copy it. So right now this package is copied. Let me go to my custom workspace. So this is my custom workspace. Right now, I think because there is no as such more packages, I can filter it based on date. So right now for today, so this is the one which is created, SAP S4 utilities integration with SAP Marketing Cloud. So yes, this is the one. Right now the question people ask mostly, so right now this is some kind of a generic name, I don't want that. So once you try to click on edit, you will be able to change name, short description. Don't change the technical name, that's what I'll just suggest, because there are cases of how update comes and then how you'll be able to see the changes. So don't change the name as such. I'll say don't change the name and technical name altogether. Okay, so again, in case if we go inside it, so all these things are changeable. Again, you go to your overview, which just gives you, in case you want to change the overview also, you can just change the description of your package. Artifact. So right now, I hope artifact, you understand that artifact is a collection of integration flow, and integration flow is how you process the message when it hits into your CPI part. So right now, this is about your, again, these are different integration flow we do have it. You create marketing interaction, replicate contract account to agreement and agreement terms. So these are the different functionalities we do have it. Then we do have documents, comments, and tags. Okay, so right now suppose that's fine. Let me just save this. So right now I'm pretty much happy about that whatever the package I have chosen, your field service, your marketing cloud. So right now I've copied. But right now my use case is, okay, so my use case is I want to use some of other integration flows in my scenario. So definitely there can be a chance that I really want to I have to copy some of integration flows from field service management also, because that's fit my scenario. So right now let's look for that. Why it's not copying it? Okay. So right now this is the one package we see initially. SAP Field Service Management. Okay. So right now, let's say in case if you have this kind of a requirement that you really have to just copy one or two artifacts or one or two your integration flows, which solves your purpose. Let me just talk about, like, this is one of your integration flow, which is your replicate business partner to field service management. And right now I'm interested in having this only particular your integration flow into my current workspace, which is your this name, SAP Marketing Cloud. So right now what I can do is I can just click on here and I can click on download. Okay. So right now whatever the standard your integration flow you see, there are two options we do have it, your metadata and your download. So once you click on your view metadata, so what happens is it just shows the details about that particular bit. So which is your sender system, which is your receiver system. Your receiver system in this particular case is your FSM system. What exactly is the name and what exactly is the description. Okay, sender receiver is the one which you can just find it from your view metadata, which is very important because sometimes people don't realize it. This particular artifact is what particular system is. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just click on to this. I'll just click on download. So right now my WinZip RAR file has been downloaded into my system, and might be it will be somewhere into your my downloads part. That's fine. Let me just copy this. Okay, that's fine. So let me just do one thing. Let me again go back to my my custom workspace on my own namespace. So this is the one which I have created. So right now what next we can do it here. So right now let me say, in case if I want to add that specific artifact to my this custom space, so how can I do that? So I'll just do one thing for the namespace. I'll just say changes. I'll say demo package. So let me just give this name. So right now you'll feel okay. This right now we have just made it custom. Okay. So this is the one. So right now this is the one we have seen. Right now what exactly is the name of that? So right now let me just go to the integration flow. Right now my main name is that whatever the integration flow I have copied from package your SAP Service Cloud integration with SAP Field Service Management to get it here. Okay. So right now again this is very this options comes very frequent. So you have to click on edit, and now you'll see what are the different options we do have it. You click on add, so we do have different options. So in case don't again jump your mind into different things, just follow this part. Okay, click on integration flow. So right now when we click on to integration flow, because we have downloaded one integration flow, so we have always two options, your create or your upload. So once I click on to upload, so it will ask me browse. So once I'll just browse, so it will show me different options we do have it. So right now create marketing interactions, replicate attachments to service field management. So this is a one which we just have downloaded. I'll select this particular bit. I'll click on open. I can just give any name like demo FSM from C4C might be giving your name. Okay, then we do have a central receiver. So right now I'll just try to explain you what are the standard practices during the course, and I really look forward from you. So right now, anytime in case if you are trying to develop custom integration flow or anything, always people say, okay, ignore it, you don't have to give it. But I think it's always a good and wise practice to give your sender and receiver. Okay, so right now might be, let me just push it in this case, your C4C and your FSM. So now click on OK. So right now you see the count of your artifact has been changed. So the one, so right now this is a one. Okay, so this 6 artifacts or your integration flows were from your, mostly from your S4 one utilities, but you see I was able to add one integration flow from other package to my own packages. Okay, so this kind of having together, or in case if you want to leave it or you want to join it, you can just do multiple combinations in your packages based on your business requirement. So once I save it, your demo package will be saved. So again, we do have multiple number of options inside this. In case if you feel like, okay, I don't need this, might be something is deprecated, you will see a lot of integration flows gets deprecated. And one meaning I really want to clear, when I say deprecated, people just get confused that deprecated means right now it's not of use. So deprecated clear meaning is it will not be supported future. Okay, so let's say if company has given you some kind of integration flow and say it will run, its support is about to end, it means that they are not going to enhance it. Okay, or they are not going to support from their side. In case of any issue comes, this is your responsibility. So this is the clear definition or meaning of deprecated. We have it. Okay, so right now, suppose in case if some kind of your integration flow is deprecated, so what you can do is you can just click onto your check boxes. Right now, let me just check these 2 boxes, click on delete, and let's say, yeah, wow, and it will get just deleted from your package, your whatever the integration flows you have it. Okay, so again, you can just easily save it, and you can just easily go around and work with your packages. So what else we do have? So right now, in case we know how easy it's to your deleting the packages, changing it, renaming it, adding it up, export, import again becomes easy. Everything's right now in terms of package. I think it's very plug and play. As such, we will not face any issues. So guys, any question till this particular bit? Any questions you have it? Okay, so I do see definitely there are different questions in my chat box. So right now, the first question is there any integration guidelines while copying and creating a custom package? So right now, as such, guidelines will not be related to your copying or creating. It will be more how you develop your integration flow in terms of performance optimizations, because whatever the web service calls you makes, they are expensive, not in terms of you have to pay the money, but right now what kind of impact it has on your performance part. Okay, how can we know what is sender and receiver and integration flow? So yes, right now it's very simple, so you don't have to worry about it. Once I go inside my integration flow, it you will be like wow, because based on whatever the symbols I have shown you, so right now they have also similarly symbols that from where my data packet or my message is flowing, how we are going to process it, and how it's going to your receiver. But always remember, your job in this particular course is to learn how you process message, because if you have that art in you, how you can process the message with different components, which I'm going to talk about, or which are the plug and play functionalities, or what are the different options this framework gave us, then might be I think you will become a good integration developer, because connection certification and all this connection and using your authentication is one important thing, but how you process is the most important job. How you process your message, how you deal with exceptions, how you have lot many things we do have it in your CPA part. Okay. Okay, I'll see one more question. Is there a limit on custom flow creation? No, as such, I don't have seen any kind of a limiter on your integration flow. As such, no. You create any number of your integration flow because I have not crossed something 400 or 500. Might be definitely give you some kind of exceptions, but right now, as per me, there is a no limit. I have in one package, I have more than I think 80, 90 artifacts. I've seen it. So you can create any number of your integration flow. Okay. Apart from, is there any other questions? Okay, I think someone's talked about your capabilities wise of your system. So might be I'll be not today. Might be I can just talk about what are different capabilities of the CPI box. Not might be today, but might be some other day. So it has a lot of things, how this behaves as service, then your connectivity, prepackaged content, your message processing steps, security features, integration design, high availability. So there are a lot of options we do have in terms of capabilities also. And right now, definitely I'll be talking in my next a day after that, because most of the people whenever go face your interview part or might be for your certification also, there are questions related to capabilities of CPI, and there are some kind of straightforward question which is very easy to score it. So in case if you know that particular bit, I think for you it will be a good help. Okay, so I think right now this is okay. So right now, I think one more thing just before closing the session, I just want to talk about. So right now, everyone just say SAP is kind of strategic. This particular tool is strategic. This is very important, and everyone has heard about the term prepackaged content. Everyone, I hope, has heard about your prepackaged content. Okay. So right now, definitely everyone would have it. So right now, what happens is why this is important, because right now when we go to this particular your uh, discover part, whenever we see your integration. Okay, so right now see when we have that they filter out based on your products. So right now, why this CPI will play a critical role, because right now SAP has already given a content which can customers can easily configure it and they can work around with. So right now, might we have seen the case of your success factor, marketing cloud, commerce cloud. So there are like so many number of solutions right now. I think Qualtrics, Calidus, Ariba. So right now you see the list, it's just going on filled glass. So this list will go on. So right now they have integration with Twitter and so many more with your Google Analytics. So there are like this is gonna be huge. Okay. So right now important point is that due to this prepackaged content only, they will be able to leverage or might be can help customer to make their business use cases end to end. Okay, so this is, if anyone asks what exactly is the prepackaged content, so this package which SAP delivers in standard is known as prepackaged content. Because why the term pre and package? Because right now whatever the functionalities might be integration with your on-premise, with your cloud for customer or success factor with on-premise. So right now these functionality are already watertight. So they have proven use cases. You just have to configure it and you can just be in no time you'll be able to run your scenarios. So right now that's why prepackaged content is very important. Okay. So right now, today I'll do one thing. I'll just try to just talk about one last thing. So right now, suppose in case if we know how to create package, change packet, in case if you want to import it, and so I think we have just we have covered most of the option. In case anytime if you want to create a new package which you want to create for your own custom scenarios. So right now let me just click onto this create. Let's say customize flows for SAP CPI. So right now this is in case the name I want to give for my customs, because this is will be the package we'll be using across our use case, and will be whatever we are going to develop our integration flow we'll try to keep in this particular package. So always whenever you're starting with creating a customized flow or custom package, please be very gentle about your naming conventions, because might be for you it will be a little easy uh, uh, to not maintain it, but in case if you maintain it, it will make a logical lot of sense. Okay, so vendor, I think it's fine, pretty much fine. So right now, sometime in case if you see this kind of information pop-ups, please just hover over to it. It will just try to give you little description about it. So right now, the technical name of package cannot be changed after the package is saved. So right now, this is one thing uh, you can just note for yourself. In overview, in case if you want to provide more details, trust me, after being this industry from so long, close to 15 plus right now, okay, I'll definitely suggest always whenever you are working it, try to give this proper naming conventions and everything. Let me just put it a demo examples. So right now, because just one more important interesting thing, when I just talked about hitting into your CPA and processing the data, so you will be definitely curious about that how we are going to hit the data into the CPI box. So we definitely have a lot of open source ways. Yachts might be so Postman and whatnot. We have way to send a data into your CPI part, so you don't worry about it. And we'll be using multiple channels so that scenarios are pretty much clear to you guys. Okay, I'll just write using soap and Postman. So again, your artifacts, your documents, your tags. So again, these are things. Let me just create this particular package. So right now, custom is saved. Let me just copy this. So right now you see my package has been just created into a system, which is your customized flows for SAP CPI. So right now what I have to do is, let me just go to my artifact part, click on edit, and again the same thing can go on. So right now again, in case if I want to add some kind of integration flow, I can easily create it. In case if I want to upload it, for me again it becomes very simple. The same way, create marketing instruction, click on open, give might be a unique ID. Let me just give it a 44. Sender anything, might be your marketing cloud, I think the system was. Just give it to your ERP, something like this. Click on OK. Your artifact will, or your integration flow will just fall inside your artifact. Okay. So this is again one simple things we do see here. Then your customized flow is saved here. Okay. So right now this is how you can just easily create your custom package, group together a lot of things. It's always to give link reference, because in your documents, when you click on file or URL, you'll be able to give your URL also in case if you have something put it into open source. Okay. So guys, I'll do one thing. I'll just try to close the session today to this particular bit. In case if you have any questions, please put into the chat box. Okay, can you please show how to create iFlow? So right now, definitely it might be in next session, we do have a way to show you, first example, how we can hit into a system and how we'll be able to use adapter and process data. Might be in the next session, definitely I'll just show you how we can just create iFlows in CPI part. Okay, so I think can we also troubleshoot our CPI flow in case if we set up send receive of sending data and we are not able to receive data at any receiver side means the flow generate any log. You don't have to worry about it. There are so many options that will be able to show you how which step it fills your data fields. So I'll trust me when we'll just go inside this particular session, I'll make it very deep so you'll be able to get each and every step your how you can process it, what are the different technical details, you will be able to fetch it out and you will be able to work it out, so you don't have to worry about that particular bit. We'll make sure everything is very, it's like crystal clear to you. And guys, for documentation, so definitely I have in my mind, let's just start a bit getting more into it so that you get used to documentation. Okay, because I will just try to tell you a lot of things, because sometimes I feel like, because people mostly, I think 80 to 90% people are from your application development and first time they're jumping into your CPA part. So definitely there will be some kind of hiccups in starting, but you don't have to worry about it. So whatever the information is more important to you or very much required, definitely I'll communicate to you, and based on might be some kind of stage I'll see where how much we have learned, and based on that might be in case if I help you more, so you will be able to grasp it and you can go with the flow rather than just dropping in between. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for your time. Let's just connect next week with tomorrow. Okay,
Sam,
yeah, who's this?
yeah, actually, a small question on that, Praveen this side. As you said, there is a sender or receiver. So sender and receiver are always the system names, or who will going to give us who will give the name of that?
So right now, logically, it should be the system name, Praveen, which is your sender, which is
Okay,
your receiver. Okay, because it will just help us to clearly see from where data is coming and where data goes to. Okay,
okay, okay.
thank
Thank you.
thank you so much. So hi everyone, so very warm welcome to this new learning session on SAP Cloud Platform Integration. So we'll just look in what we have discussed last time. So right now, first of all, we have discussed about in case if you don't see any kind of buttons which are missing specific to your tenant. So right now it's more related to your how what kind of a roles do you have. So I just gave example in terms if you don't see this transport tab, it might be in your package, the transport option. So right now you need to have this kind of integration content. So right now, after particular that part, we have discussed your more about your integration flow. So let me just do one thing. Let me just step into the system again and let's just discuss more about that particular bit. So right now, I hope you can just right now might be familiarize yourself to with this particular tenant. Right now, we do have this particular discover, design, monitor, and this run tabs or your settings tab. So every time what we used to do is we used to see whenever we just go to any of the package, okay, we do see different kind of your artifacts is kind of a collection of your integration flow. So last time what we have done in respective of your custom packages, so we have created one brand new custom package, okay, and inside that we want to import one of the artifact which we need for our business use case. Okay, so this was the pretty much use case what we have discussed the last time. Okay, and apart from it, we do have discussed about what exactly is the meaning of your integration flow. So right now what happens is, as an integration developer, your main job is to make sure whatever the message you receive, you have to process into this particular CPI box. So this is one kind of a depiction in which I'm just trying to show how, with the help of your sender, this is in this particular case, which is your ERP box, this is using this particular channel, and it is pushing the message inside your CPI, and then again might be sending to the receiver net. It can be anything. So right now, whenever we just saw this kind of particular diagram or how exactly things will flow. So right now, whenever we see channels, again might be you will have a new word called adapters. Okay, and inside the CPI for you might be everything will be new for sure. Like whatever the topic which I'm gonna today cover for you, it will be most of things will be surprise for you. like what kind of a different adapters we do have it, how we can process the message and everything. Okay, so be patient, and in case if you don't, if you if you're not able to make it at a particular point, just ask me. One good thing is just please feel free to drop whatever the questions you have into chat box. Then I think for me it will be pretty easy to answer it up. Okay, so let me just do one thing. Let me again go back to my system. So what happens is last time we have done right now. So right now for us, it's we have to go inside and create integration flows. But last time, whenever we have seen our packages, let me go to here, we haven't seen any kind of integration flow as such. Because every time I tell you that you need to process the message, but I have not shown you any time any kind of integration flow. I have shown you different kind of a different tabs, but right now it's for you. It's important to look into what exactly, how does exactly integration flow look like, because for you most of the people it would be quite new. So let me just look into this one kind of integration flow. This is SAP CPQ integration with SAP ERP. So right now again to artifact. So right now we do have different your integration flow. So right now, let me see something which is actually quite might be some important. So might be you can say your create sales code follow-up document. So every time when I previously used to show you a package, we go to overview, artifacts, document, tags, and ratings. But we never just we have never opened as such this particular integration flow. So right now, what we'll do is we'll just click on to this part. So what will happen is, you see, this is kind of an integration flow look likes. So we do have a center, we do have integration process, then again we do have a local box. Might be it's again one kind of a receiver. Again, there are so many options right now. There is a filtering, there is a mapping, there is a formatting, there is a call, there is a message transformation, there is a retrieve, there is a local integration process, then there is a receiver. So trust me, there are so many messages happening right now. And guys, it's very important to understand. So right now, your main purpose is whenever someone gives you any kind of integration flow to achieve, or in case you have any custom integration flow, there are like numerous cases which can come it up. Okay, so right now, this is how your whenever you will start into it. Also, when we start into it, we again going to see all this kind of a small processes, integration flow or local processes, how we can connect, how we can just play around with it. Okay, but right now I'll just definitely suggest you, in case if you have a tenant, please start looking into it. I'm not saying just go understand the functionality. No, hell no. Just understand what are the different boxes you do have it. Okay, because it will just try to give you the perspective or idea that how much possibilities we do have it. Or might be the people who are very new to integration flow, because they used to think, okay, there is a mapping happens and we receive our data. No, there are so many options we have, because right now we're not talking about only SAP systems, we are talking about multiple different systems. Okay, good thing is always see the last line, dotted line. Okay, so might be this just show a channel or an adapter. So today I'm gonna give you a brief about adapters also. What are the different adapters we have it. Don't worry, I'll not just punch in everything related to adapter today, but for me it will be very important that what exactly do you need it. Okay, so here might you see different options like JSON to XML converter, then might be your iterating splitter. Just see the words. I'm not just have that kind of thing. Every box has a small icon so that you can just determine it. So for me, I think I have just done so many times. So right now I know what exactly each and everything right now do. But for you, this is important that we do have to achieve this. So I'm not going to today for the configuration of a standard iFlow. Okay, so how you can do that, how you can just see where is my mapping and all these things. So right now today you don't have to worry about it. So you just have to see this is one how exactly look likes. So might be this is a one integration flow. This might be for you like, okay, yeah, that's might be achievable. We can do it. But trust me, in case if you have a complex iFlows, it takes time. It easily takes time close to your like what you say a month, easily 25 days, because sometimes we do have so much of challenges we do have it that sometimes it's get little tricky to achieve this particular iFlows and other situations. Okay, depending on your business use cases. So this is one where we do have your CPQ integration with the SAP ERP. Let's see something related to your SF with payroll, because payroll might be mostly we do have with some kind of external vendors. Let me just put it payroll only, because we do have 2 or 3 payrolls integration. Okay, not a problem. Let me just so right now we do have it. So right now, just to show you how other artifacts look like. Okay, just clicking onto this, clicking onto the artifacts part. So right now you see we do have a different kind of an options. Just a moment, just a moment. Sorry. So right now, suppose we are looking for some kind of artifacts which might be for your NG, like payroll we have for your NGA. So right now might be we can just look into any of your artifact, so that we can just map it. So there is a one artifact. So right now I think this is the one, your SF Employee Central Global Assignment to NG HR Exchange. So once we click into this, you will see what kind of an integration flow can be achieved. So right now, I think this was a bit complex, tricky. There are so many things. So just want to show you how complex and how big your integration flow can be. Okay, so this is your one integration flow. So I know it sometime it will be very difficult to manage working with this, but right now, trust me, right now not a single person work on this kind of your integration flow or I flows. We actually try to break it into some kind of a sub processes. So we'll tell you the concept, but you see how complex this can go on. So this becomes actually very tricky. You can have multiple receiver, multiple senders. Might be you can just initiate from the system. Might be some kind of your automatic trigger based on date, time, or there are different kind of parameters. But you have to see, you have to understand the gravity here, like how many complexity we can have while we are developing your iFlows. So right now, this is one of the examples. So right now, in case if I just start talking about different options, might be we need like number of days just to explain one. Okay, but right now what we'll do is we'll just try to create everything from scratch. Okay, might be in between I'll just try to whatever prepackaged content standard we have, we'll just try to configure it so that you will be able to make it. Okay, so right, how I can do it, or you will be able to have a better picture. Okay, what exactly is this particular part? Okay, because there are different things which happens in your iFlow. There is exception handling, there are data store, there are number range, there are so many things. Might be integration perspective people don't think it, but right now whatever we are going to cover in this journey of CPI, you have a lot many topics. Okay, so this is just a preview to show you once we start creating our integration flows, this can go to this particular extent. So have that kind of a mindset that yeah, you really need to learn it, whatever the operations we are going to discuss, whatever the business case you have it, you can just even try it out so that you can also look into it. But in case, I think you'll be very lucky in case if you're working for some kind of a specific integration. So for you, it will be little easy to map things. Okay, so whatever the component have you worked upon, just try to see the payload, what are the different operation is happening. So what exactly is this dotted line, what is a timer, what is all these things. Just click on just click into it and just read. That's it. Okay, so this is the one part which I really want to show you, so that anytime in case if you are exploring prepackaged content, just look into it. Okay, and in case you are very much more interested, just click onto some kind of a your detailed pop-up, or in case if you need more details, just copy into your own package or your custom package, and then you will be able to just read more information about that particular part, what exactly is doing, what different operations we do have. But right now, what we'll do is, what our approach will be, we have already created our one content package. We have this particular package which we have created. So we are going to cover step by step how we can just create one basic flow, how we can send a request, how we can process the data, what are adapters, then what are exactly your OData query, then how you can just use different operations inside your web ID editor. So this will be our job. So right now, I hope till this particular part is clear. And does anyone has any question here? I hope till this particular part is clear. Okay, cool. So right now what we'll do is we have to create a new integration flow, or how we can just start with it. For example, in case if we have to create any integration flow, for you it will be quite easy. We have created our own package. Click on edit button. So we do have, once we go to this particular ad, so we do have three options: your integration flow, your value mapping, and OData services. So right now everyone has their own logical meaning, because might be your value mapping again is something very specific for your integration flow, because might be it can be the case that your ERP say for female they represent 02, but might be in your cloud solution they say F, because might be it's the solution from any other non-SAP company. So you need to have value mapping. OData service will go in detail how can we create an OData service, then your integration flow. So for today, whenever we have to start into the system, so we have this particular part, integration flow. So we'll just click on integration flow. I think last time we have done it, so we can just give any name. So might we will say demo for SOAP. So we'll just try to use one message protocol, which is, you can say SOAP, your simple object access protocol. So always, I think last time we have discussed this particular bit. So product profile will be always your cloud platform integration. It's always good practice to give the details. So right now I'll just treat my CPI box where just I have to receive the message and process it. So I'll just keep it receiver as your CPI part. So once I click on OK, your integration flow will be listed down. And once you click on to your iFlow, so this is how your screen will look like. Okay, so right now, once you just step in, we do have integration flow. So where we do have different kind of integration flow properties. Okay, so again, these properties again gonna play very important role. Right now might be will not be able to match it, but trust me, once we go further, I'll just try to make sure I link it also. I'll just connect the dots for you. So your name, your ID, description, whatever you want to give. We do have your runtime configuration, so your namespace, HTTP sessions, error configurations, everything. So right now in this, we do have some important concept. So I will be also covering it, because as such no one covers it, like your HTTP session handling. So that how can you actually reuse a session so that it improves the performance of the systems. Okay. So we'll cover that kind of topics also in this particular course. Then we do have error configuration. We do have resources. Might be right now we don't have as such any resources in this, but trust me, when we start working with it, we'll show you how resources and where exactly we have to look like and how important it is. Then your externalized parameters, problems. So this is when you just step into your integration flow, this is how the property will look like. So in case if you are creating from scratch, so this is how it will look like. Might be what you can do is, just for exploring, just whatever the standard prepackaged content you have it, add to your namespace and then start going through different tabs. It will just help you. Okay, so that's one thing. So right now, I hope the last time we were talking about this particular box, your sender, multiple receiver, then your middleware. So just try to map the same things here. We'll click on edit. So we do have your sender, we do have your receiver. So right now, let me go here, sender. So they have given just name sender. So right now, let's change it to SOAP, because today we are just trying to send a message from a SOAP tool and we'll receive into this particular integration flow. So I hope right now you'll be able to map it, your sender, your receiver, and your integration flow, integration process. So this will be always one integration process, and you can have your local or sub process, so that you can just have your, what you can say, you can just break down the complexity of your iFlow, which is actually very helpful, because in case if you break it down, you don't have to scroll left and right. I know this will be a lot of problem for you, but yeah, we have to live with it. Okay. And we, in case if we have to just navigate through this particular part, so trust me guys, we do have this kind of a maximize option. So this is has come, I think, last year Feb or March. Previous to that, we don't have any option, and we every time we have to scroll like this for setting properties. So there are so many things right now, SAP is just trying to improve it up. In case if you just see the earlier version, trust me, it used to be sucks. But right now, I think today it's in a very good shape. So one good thing about this particular graphical editor is that you can just easily link it with different boxes here. Okay, so it's quite easy, it's quite intuitive and easy to use this particular part. Let me just do one thing. Let me just open something else for you. Sorry, I'm not sure why it's going on some kind of a mute property setting. No, just really excuse me for that. Okay, so right now let's just do one thing. We do have our sender, receiver, and your integration process. So right now we have seen lot of many options. We do have it. Okay, because in case if we just talk about options, then I think we'll be not able to see it. But onto this left particular pane, we do have different options. There are so many options, and we do have sub options even. Okay, so right now, suppose in this we do have different kind of a converters. We do have different kind of decoders, because right now you don't expect, or you'll not be able to make it on which part you are going to get the data from your sender system. So there we do have a different options. So we'll be talking about this particular options also in detail, so you don't have to worry about that particular part. But today you have to just understand one basic flow with adapters concept. Adapters, I'll bring it because it will just start setting up your need. Okay, so right now the point here is, whenever we just try to connect a SOAP to a start, because this start will depict that it has to trigger your it has to start the particular message, the processing of this particular message into this particular integration process. Okay, and this end will just show that it has completed the message processing, and it will send that particular envelope. So you see it has a white background, and it is completely it has kind of a black background. So every single icon, single step or the function uses everything as a menu. So just try to logically see it, or just don't hurry it and that, oh, I really need to have a small process. No, don't have that kind of attitude. So what exactly you have to do is, you just have to make sure whenever we just send a request from SOAP to this particular start, how exactly the icon look like. Whenever we are going to add different other options, how exactly we can see the data part. Okay, so for you it's very important, because you see this is just scratch, we are just trying to work it out. Okay, again we do have again so many things we have to learn it, but we'll just try to today, for today only, we'll just try to keep the process simple part. Okay, so let me just do one thing. Right now, suppose in case if we do have some kind of a SOAP center, I have to connect to this particular start message. So what I'll do is, so in this particular graphical editor, if I have just hover over to it anytime, in case if you have to enable any options like this. So first of all, whatever the property section, it will just enable into this down window. Then this is your information, which will show the technical information. Once you click into this, it will just say participant underscore 1 version 1.0. So right now, sometime it happens is, in case if you have to see the payload, and you really need to see where exactly it's failing in terms of component wise. You'll be able to, it will just technical ID will help you. So make sure from where you can just fetch the technical ID. So that's one thing. Delete is again it's very simple. I can just quickly delete it. Again, I can just reuse it. So that's fine. So suppose right now, in case if I have to use connector to connect to this particular sender message, to this particular start, what does it mean is, so whenever we send a request from your SOAP to start, it will just trigger the message, or it will just hit into your start part. So what I'll do is, in this particular step, I'll just try to connect SOAP to this particular start message. So this is one very interesting things open up, and again some kind of a Pandora of box again open up for us. So why so? So right now when I say adapter, so this will be very important word for you. And why so? Every time people ask, okay, so right now, Sam, I have some integration scenario which is more related to your success factor. I have right now more related to Ariba. I have more related to Salesforce. I have more related to Microsoft Dynamics. Can you just talk about that particular bit? So right now, in case if you have different scenarios, so you just have to focus on one thing. How first of all you can just process the message. When I say in terms of taking the particular message from your whatever the system you have your Ariba system, you have your SOAP system, success factor system, you can just do easily with the help of adapter type. So one very important thing, whenever I say your SAP CPI, so it always process the message in XML. Okay, so right now, anytime if we have whatever the different format you have it, in case if you have to process the message in your XML, okay, you really have to convert into XML format. In case if it's coming on any format, you need to make sure that when you receive the message, you can only process in terms of XML. So right now we have not talked about architecture. So architecture, capabilities and all those things, but because everyone was very keen to see how exactly a basic scenario runs it. So that's why I'm just showing this particular use case. Okay, so what happens is, so whenever I just click, I want to connect this particular SOAP to this start. So there are different adapters comes up. So I'll do one thing for adapters. So once I'll just show you the basic scenario, we'll just talk in detail about your adapters. Because in case whatever the scenario you have in your future, in terms of OData, Mail, iDoc, AS4, Iliester, Sugar CRM, Amazon, Salesforce, so then you know how exactly you have to deal with it. Okay, so right now let me just click on SOAP. Again, it has a different messages, different versions, message protocol version, how exactly it wants to communicate the particular message. So we do have different protocols. So right now, just for the sake of seeing the scenario, we'll just select your version. So right now, I think we do have some kind of adapter properties. So just right now, just see the scenario, how we can do that. Might be I'll just again go in detail to describe for you. Okay. So right now, what I have done is I have just tried to connect from SOAP to this integration process, and I've given the connection and this address. So just see that, okay, there is some kind of address Sam has maintained in your my integration process, and we are going to work with it. Again, we do have a different properties. So just right now, just leave it. That's fine. And let me just click on save. So what I've done is, white space not allowed in sender name. So right now, logically, it should not happen. Okay, logically, it should have save that particular name also. Let me right now, let me just do one thing. Let me just save it. Let me just deploy it. So right now, what happens is, my basic aim is just to show you how we can just receive a message from a SOAP, okay, and we can just fetch that particular message in my integration process, and then we'll see how exactly the processing and all these things happens. Okay, so let me just do one thing. I have just made a connection. I have saved it, and let me just deploy this particular part. So deploy means, so right now there is one kind of a tenant node we have it in our CPI tool where we want to deploy this part. Okay, so let me click on yes. So right now demo for SOAP is triggered for deployment. So right now whatever my iFlow is there, I have deployed. Right now it shows it's successfully deployed. Let me just click on OK. So right now, just to enable our scenario, we have to use multiple some kind of a sender or receiver into the system so that we can process the message. Because for every system will not be having like systems like ERP, success factor. Few systems we have arranged it, but we cannot show all the solutions like Dynamics, Salesforce, or your Ariba systems. So just to show, just to have that kind of a realistic scenario that whatever the payload is coming into your CPI, what we are doing is we are using some kind of open source tool like your Postman. So in case if you don't have it, please install it. Postman, SOAP UI might be in case if you have some kind of OData services which you want to trigger from like your particular tool. So we do have this tool where we can just send the request, and we do have different kind of operations. For example, like get, put, patch, delete. There are so many operations we do have it. So for our every scenario in coming session CPI, we'll be using this kind of a tools to send our request. I hope everyone know, like I think it's very easy to get your Postman tool. Same way we do have very easy way to use this kind of SOAP UI tools. So one thing very important about SOAP UI, so we do have different kind of versions in SOAP. So right now just make sure you download the free version. Okay, let me just SOAP UI. So right now we do have this different tool. So just click on this SOAP UI. This is a pro version. Then this is your open source. Okay, so in case, because right now our main job is to make sure that with the help of the SOAP UI tool, as we have discussed, we should be able to send a message into this particular CPI box. That's our main request. We can have different visuals. So for visuals or schemas, you don't have to worry about everything. I'll be just providing you guys. Okay, so make sure in case if you have to download this, you can just easily download this your SOAP UI open source version. Okay, so right now this is my SOAP UI versions. Let me remove whatever the data I have it here. Okay, so right now I hope is there anyone who has not worked with SOAP UI, this kind of a tools? Because then again I have to go in a little basic to explain you.
Hi Sam, I have not worked on SOAP.
Cool. Thank you so much. Okay, so right now, because my main job is to make sure anyone who's from scratch just to talk about that particular bit. So right now what happens is in your SOAP UI tool, so right now it's kind of so suppose just see this particular scenario. Suppose right now you have your ERP system, you have some cloud solutions. So whenever you trigger some kind of function module and you want to expose a data in terms of a SOAP, so how does happens is from your ERP box, you just trigger that particular request. Okay, as right now we don't have multiple systems, what we'll do is we'll just try to trigger the same SOAP based request from our SOAP UI tool. So this tool will help us to trigger a request. Okay, so it suppose different kind of format like SOAP, your REST, and it has so many of different kind of functionalities. But right now for our, we have to just trigger a one basic SOAP request, as simple as that, just to show you the scenario.
Sam, so what do you mean by expose a request based on SOAP? I'm a bit not aware of that part as well.
Okay, cool. Not a problem. So I'll just guys just do one thing, because I was getting this request that everyone want to see one simple scenario. So I'll just do one thing. Don't worry. Might be just go through this particular session for today. I'll make sure from tomorrow I'll just talk about architecture capabilities in terms of exposing, in the sense how we say data expose, inbound, outbound, synchronous, asynchronous. I'll just talk about everything. Okay, so right now just understand exposing means just throwing the data out of the system. Exposing in the sense that you want to right now how API, what exactly API does. In based on in case if you just send some kind of a request parameter to the API, it gives you as a response. So right now the same way, exposing the data means that you have some kind of function module. So suppose right now might be sales order, okay, in your ERP box. So exposing the data means might be you want to set, based on some kind of a request hit into the system, you want to expose all the sales order to might be some kind of a different your SAP solution, non-SAP solution. So exposing is just we have to make sure your data goes out of the box or out of your system. Okay, so we that does mean by your exposing a request. So don't worry about it. Might be because I haven't talked about architecture, your synchronous, asynchronous. So might we'll have that discussion. So we'll explain you all this particular
Okay.
bit.
Yeah. Okay. But SOAP is protocol, you said, right?
Yes, so SOAP is
So
your simple object access protocol. See, I can, in case if I have to, in case if I have to define all these things, just wait for this particular scenario. Okay, let's just see the scenario, how we can receive a request, because there are so many adapters we do have it. I'll just talk one by one adapter. I'll have one table and then explain you of how exactly, what are the different things we do have it. Okay,
okay, no problem.
just wait. Okay. So right now, don't worry about this. I'll just talk about again because for me this is very basic that you first of all we really need to see how we can just send a request. So don't worry about it. I just want to show you scenario that how we can trigger a request because once we receive a data packet here, trust me guys, for then we can just use different operations. We do have multiple options we do have it to process it out, but we need to have some kind of a start. And trust me, as I mentioned, I haven't talked about architecture of CPI, what exactly is this framework and a lot of other things. It's just that everyone's sending me a request that in case if we can just have one, how exactly the process will start. And I think everyone has that kind of a curiosity, okay, how exactly web ID look like. Because I know in this also we really need to have discussion in terms of your theory also, because people have application developer experience or function, but in terms of integration developers, it's little different path than your regular application developer path. Okay, so don't worry about it. Just see the scenario. I'll repeat it. Don't worry. We'll have the similar scenario, but just go through it once. So right now, again, in case if people don't know what exactly is your visual, so web service definition language. Right now, again, it's some kind of a format. Don't worry about it. I have to have one SOAP request just to show you. Desktop, we do have CPI resources. So don't about worry about all these things. Might be I'll just explain you up. So right now, what is exactly visual also and everything I'll just tell you. Okay, so right now, again going to this particular integration process, my demo for SOAP because this was deployed. So if I go to this I tab, which is my more kind of a monitor one, let me just go here, demo for SOAP. So we do have some kind of an endpoint. So don't worry about that part. I'll explain you. Just try to understand right now how we are going to set up it up. Okay, so right now what happens is I'm just going to send a request and we have set some kind of a point where exactly we have to hit it into a system so that it is uniquely recognize it. So right now, because I have to have some kind of a user-based authentication, so whatever my tenant credentials I have it, I will just put it into it. So let me just hit this particular bit. So right, it'll show me some kind of a response. That's fine. Everything is okay. I'll click on OK. So I'll just go in case if I have to see my package is green or not. So you'll see one message packet we have received into a system. So right now, how this exactly the log looks like. So right now we were actually able to see whatever the message packet we have triggered into the system. Okay. So right now the people might who have this kind of a basic understanding about integration, or they have done some kind of a scenario. So what we try to did is, so we have created one kind of integration flow. We have tried to send a request from some kind of a SOAP UI tool. We have connected through SOAP adapter, where we have used 1.x as a message protocol. Okay. And this particular request we was able to hit with the help of a SOAP UI tool. I think again we have just given whatever the specific address we were able to create it, and we were able to hit it, and it was successful in our system. So we were able to see this particular part, because what in message monitoring, this is my integration flow completed message. So this looks like green. Okay, so in case the people who are really interested to see this particular part, so I hope might be it makes a sense for it. Okay, but right now let me again go back to more basics. So demo for SOAP. So right now we'll just do one thing. We'll just start again with the adapter part. So right now what exactly happens here is, so we have just seen one kind of a SOAP adapter. So right now just forget about adapter and all those things. Let's just go to very basic part. So support in this world, we have your in case if business has to run. So definitely, as I said the last time, there will be like plethora of different systems which needs to be integrated so that we can just deliver the value. So one example, because in this particular batch there are people from non-SAP background also. So right now, suppose in terms of example of Amazon, so whenever you just try to place some order, so there are like so many things which are happening in background. Might be your pin to that particular place that they can just put a delivery, or that product is available or not, or in terms of pricing and so many things. So it's not necessary that it would be one specific system. So might be they are using, might be for pricing SAP system, might be they're using Salesforce for some kind for different fancy view, and might be some other system. So it can be, there can be a chance so that they are talking in some kind of a different languages. Different language in the sense, so for example, we do have a different adapters. Let me show you one more interesting thing here. So right now you see we do have some kind of adapter like Facebook. We do have adapters like your Twitter. Okay, so right now, because it's not necessary that Facebook and Twitter talks in same language, because when you see a system, for example, like SAP, we just do understand in terms of system only, but how they communicate or how they can expose the data, expose in the sense how we can send the data from that particular system. So example, in case if you want to read the data from your SAP system, or in case if you want to read any object from the SAP system. So SAP has defined in what format the data can be read from this particular system. So for this particular part, so that we can adapt. So adapter has like a simply very basic meaning, so that it can adapt different formatted. So right now, as I mentioned the last time, so this is my integration process, sender and receiver. So this can be some different system. It can be any system, any cloud system, non-SAP system, anything. So right now, in case if we have to receive the data here, and we might have to send the data to the receiver, so it will make sure first of all that it can receive the data, so based on your adapter. So for example, like right now might be if we have to send some data from your on premise, or in case if we have to read the data of some kind of a tweet, or in case if we have to replicate lead from your Facebook, might be onto your any cloud application, so that you can create a lead and then you're all the process. So might be this can be integrated with the help of a SOAP. Okay, again it has, so SOAP is one way to communicate to the CPI part. And once your message gets processed, so what will happen is you can just send it to your Facebook system with the help of this particular adapter. So adapter will help you to connect with different systems in some kind of a predefined way. But you have to remember that your CPI box process the message only in terms of XML, which is your XML format. So right now, just say you have one format which is your XML, in which it processes the data. Okay, so are you able to make it out right now, or still you feel there is a gap in some kind of understanding? So I think just feel free to ask, might because people who are going through first time, definitely there is a way. People, please go and just mute. So whatever the question you have, just put it here, not a problem, to a chat box, so that we can be able to make it out. So I think again there is one question: real-time scenarios, how developer will get the visual to trigger the start point in the integration flow. So forget about the visual and all these things right now. I don't think so. This is important for you to right now going to about visual and all these things. Just have first kind of a basic understanding that we can we can just connect multiple different systems with the help of adapter types. So right now in adapter types, we do have different kind of adapters. There are so many adapters we do have it, so that anytime in case if you have some kind of a business use case where you need to have a, where you need to connect different systems. So right now, in case if you have to connect different systems, so you know that it supports these things. Okay, so right now let's just talk about which are the different data types, or like not data types, which are the different connectors we do have available into your CPI box predefined. Okay, predefined in the mess SAP has delivered you, and you can just easily use it up. So the first adapter which I want to say is your Ariba. So right now let's just see into the system also. So few so right now you see Ariba adapter we do have it. So once we click onto the Ariba, so whatever the specific configuration we have specific to your Ariba, we'll just list down. So because in general, processing, connection, scheduler, so right now there are different things we do have it. So right now what it's different in your Ariba. Okay, so Ariba use something called as CXML, because in case we are working with CPI, trust me, in life you will definitely have this kind of scenarios with your Ariba. So your Ariba use something something in your system which is known as your CXML, which stand for your commerce. Okay, so right now this is use something called commerce extensible markup language. So right now this is a way to represent CXML. So right now what exactly do, it's just try to deal in some kind of a business specific document. So Ariba network use this particular format. So in case if you have to receive a data into your system which is in this particular format or Ariba, you can just directly use Ariba adapter. So what will happen in case if you use this particular adapter, and if you push the data whatever in CXML format, you will be able to receive in your integration process. Because as an integration developer, your first job is to make sure that you receive the data into your this particular process. Again, right now think of a case in if data is coming for Ariba, might be you have to mold it, transform it in so many different ways, or might be you want to validate it with some third-party systems. So again, there are huge number of things which will come up. So Ariba is again one very important adapter. In case if people ask you, then Ariba is one. Which format it uses is important. And so what most important job is has some kind of a business specific document which it has to release it. That's the only functionality I've seen in terms of Ariba. In case if you are more interested, like no Sam, we really want to see it. So what you can do is go to your prepackaged content, click on Ariba. So right now, see you have SAP ERP S4 integration with SAP Ariba. Click onto this, go to the artifacts part. So right now it's a IDOC outbound pass through content for Ariba network. So just start looking into it, just start exploring it up that okay, what do we have in terms of uh, your adapter wise. So right now through Ariba, this is one CIG system. Might be in case we'll just see where we have used adapter type as Ariba. Might be we'll just look into some another integration flow. I think mostly they have used some kind of might be they have used some kind of a SOAP service. Let me look something else in SAP Ariba APIs, Ariba network with SAP Business Suite. So right now these are very much specific to your Ariba system. I think mostly everything one have used your SOAP only. Okay, not a problem. Okay, now this goes little for little. Okay, so right now you see here your Ariba system in starting here. So right now see this is a Ariba adapter they have uses. They might have some kind of a generic configuration, whatever like. So this is how will mostly places your Ariba networks, your service URL look like. So this is how it represents. So right now this is one case where in case if you want to explore more, so I'll always suggest to start looking into the standard because that will just set your standard to learn more and to understand more. So this is one thing about your Ariba adapter. So again, after that, there are different adapters. In case anyone has any small questions, because I know sometimes it gets little tricky to understand, but just feel free to ask or just put into a chat box. So like similarly to Ariba, so we do have like abundant number of your adapters. So we do have your IDOC. Okay, so IDOC is again is very much your intermediate document. This is also very important adapter for your SAP on-premise. Previously, most of data whatever we used to expose from a system was in terms of your IDOC or SOAP from SAP. Okay, so IDOC is again important. We do have your OData adapter. We do have your Facebook. We do have your Facebook. Next, we can just think your success factors. So we do have your success factor adapters. In success factor adapters, so it talks in different. It supports your REST, SOAP, OData. It supports in OData V2, V4. So right now, let's just don't go in deep about your V2, V4. The more important thing is that in case if you have to connect with the help of SAP success factor, so yes, we can connect with your SF success factor system, and it supports your multiple adapters. Let me delete this. So once I click onto your SOAP and once I select your success factor, inside this also we do have two message protocols, your REST and SOAP. So let's I select once I select, it will just show the path again, whatever the configuration we have very specific to your system. Okay, just a minute. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll just stop the recording. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, so right now we were just talking about different adapters which it supports. So right now just understand that in case if we have to connect with SuccessFactors system, so we do have adapter which is called as your SF. So right now I think the next adapter I want to talk about is your Twitter. In case if you have to read or post your tweet, so you can just use with the help of your Twitter adapter. So it supports your Twitter adapter. Next one is we do have your mail adapter. Okay, so right now it enables your cloud platform integration services to read and send to your any email, to send or read any email from the server part. So right now that's your mail adapter. So next is we do have your JDBC, which is your Java database connectivity. So in case if you want to connect your your cloud platform integration to any kind of a database or execute some kind of your SQL command, so you can just do that. So that's your JDBC. So again, the list will go on and go on. But apart from it, again, the most important thing which I really want to talk about is because there are few adapters which will just show you into the system only, and there are few which you need to have in your mind that these are the adapters which are supported, but these are mostly your external base. So there are four adapters which is might be SAP partner have developed it. And in case if someone asks that, can you connect your SAP CPI box to your Salesforce? So definitely yes. So what are these different systems? So we have your Sugar CRM, and we do have your Amazon AWS, we do have your Salesforce, and we do have your Microsoft Dynamic. So right now these are the different adapters which are available, but these are I think delivered by SAP partner, and you can, in case if you want to access this particular adapter, you have to from service marketplace, whatever the licensing cost you have it, you have to pay it and you will be get it. Apart from these, whatever the adapters we have seen it here, there are so many other adapters we do have it, and this list is long. So right now suppose we do have one adapter called AMQP, which is known as your advanced messaging queuing protocol. Then we do have your AS2 protocol. So right now this AS2 is mostly for your business specific document through your AS stands for your applicability statement. So it has version 2 and 4. We do have adapter like your XI. Okay, so this list will go. I think there is some one adapter which I have actually, trust me, will never use, which is your Alistair. Then we do have something called LDAP. So right now there are so many adapters which SAP is right now day in day out. SAP is trying to build it out because they are making sure that the systems connect with a lot of other systems. So right now, see, might have missed this your process direct, your open connectors, and there are so many different kind. One interesting thing which might I'll leave with you for today. So right now it's not necessary. It's not necessary that with the help of adapters you will have a bi-directional data flow. What does it mean that with the help of adapter you can send also and you can receive also? No. So there are few adapters which with the help of which you can just send, and there are few adapters which only can receive. There are adapters which can do both the things. For example, like might be your success factor, which uses your REST and SOAP. So right now it supports both. Same way your SOAP 1.x uses your Twitter, your Ariba. So there are few adapters, but this is the one exception. I'll just give you this particular kind of a knowledge nugget, so you can just make sure whenever we are doing a scenario that we'll be able to show you. So right now you see you have your AMQP, Alistair, your LDAP, your mail, open connectors, process depth, your RFC. Yeah, RFC is very important again. So there are so many adapters you have it. So it's very important to understand adapters, because then only in case if you have kind of business requirement, in case if you don't have adapter, it becomes little tricky, trust me. In case we don't have adapters, it's very tricky to make sure that we can pass our data into your system. But one good thing is we can even develop an adapter. So right now, I think as such, we are not in this particular course discussing about how we can create a custom adapter. But right now, one small use case we do have available for your custom adapters. And one more important thing, in case anytime if you have to develop a custom objector, so this web ID is not exactly the place. We do have some other place, other tools to do that, and we'll talk about in coming sessions. Okay, so guys, one very important thing for today. So right now, in case if you are going to revise this and people have done it this kind of scenarios, so they can just try it. In case not, there are few words I'm just trying to put in here. Just explore this. Just explore this option. So these are very generic, or I think you might have used it. So right now, what exactly is a message protocol? What is synchronous and asynchronous? Okay, and one more thing in this particular is okay, Postman and SOAP, I'll just cover it up, but just make sure, just have basic what exactly is a message protocol. Okay, so because for me it will be little easy, I'll be again talking about, but in case if you want to go through it, just go through this 2 point, what exactly is synchronous and asynchronous, and what exactly is your message protocol. That's it. Okay, so guys, till this point, any questions? Do you have it?
Hi, Sam. Praveen this side.
Tell me, Praveen.
Yeah, actually, if you see that in the sender side and the receiver side, the list of adapters are from one side, Twitter, Facebook, like this, adapters are available. So sender is something like ERP, SAP, S4, like we are working in this one. So sender is that, or
No,
can you
it's
give?
not like that. It's not like that. I'm saying, might we will just again go into deep into it. I'm saying there are few adapters which only can receive it. There are few adapters which can only send the data. There are few adapters which can receive the data. And there are few of the adapters which can send also and which can receive the data also. Okay, so which you can use the both the side. So it has right now by design, so you don't have to worry. Once we go more deep into it, then I'll just explain you that particular point and why it has only use only from the sender perspective.
Okay.
Okay, and I think one again question I see into this particular box is that whenever we send, can we have multiple sender? So right now, think of a business use case why you want to send multiple message at one particular time. So whatever the business use case you have it, might be you will only have one sender. You can have again different systems. You can might have again some kind of options like this, but mostly what happens is, in case you have, if you want to validate the data, might be suppose in case if you want to have in case if you have some kind of a banking transaction, might be you want to validate it that this particular OTP is correct or not, so might be it will send a request to some other receiver to just validate it. But we can, inputting wise, I don't think so there is a problem, but logically we only have one sender, because from one system only, from a source system will trigger a message, and once it hits into a system, then we can just process as we like it, based on requirements we do have it. Okay, so guys, there's one thing, might be I understand there are few people who are actually might be starting from very scratch. So we'll do one thing. First of all, we'll just talk about, for tomorrow session, we'll just talk about capabilities. Okay, capabilities of the CPI. So right now, how it behave as a service, what are the different features we do have it. I think after that we'll discuss about the architecture of your CPI. Okay, because till right now we have discussed how exactly the message gets processed, or what exactly is framework, how it's different from your traditional SAP system, because right now this is the only stack where you will see more kind of a Java and new different frameworks. So right now it's just a club of a lot of other open source functionalities in CPA. So might be once we do this particular bit, then we have one use case just to explain you. Okay, we'll just have one use case. We'll just tell you one business use case, like where exactly how what we say like what exactly is the inbound service interface, what exactly is the outbound sender receiver, what is a message protocol, and then once we are done with the particular sessions, the basic sessions of how we can start our journey to your CPA part, then might be again we'll have then we'll just start developing our own iFlows. Okay, then might be we'll use your SOAP UI tool or your Postman tool to hit a request, and whatever the options we do have it, your events, your connectors, your delete options, your mapping, and so many more. Because trust me, the CPI is again very deep part in integration. It has a lot of functionalities. It has number range data store, so in case if you want to store your data and might be read it after some time, so we do have a lot of functionalities, your exception handling, session handling. So there are so many things. So we'll do one thing. We'll again the people might who have already worked into the integration have some little patience, and in case if you have any questions, drop me mail. But we'll just try to have this particular format. Okay, so we'll start with the capabilities, then architecture, use case, and then we'll start creating our own iFlows with again very basic use cases. What exactly again the WSDL, your your schema, what we do have XSD, whatever we have it, we'll just make sure we'll just break it for you and then just put it in front of you. Okay. So any other questions anyone has right now? Might be. Yes, put it.
Sam, suppose I created an OData service in my S4, right?
Okay.
And that I got the URL, right? So I need to config in that one where you have shown it.
So right now, whenever you have your OData service, we do have a concept of entity and entity set. It's not like that you have your URL and you will put it into CPI and will work out. So no, right now, that's not the way right now. So don't jump again. So right now, guys, just a one request in case if you have a very specific question, please send me a mail. I'll definitely help you out. But we'll just try to make sure, because definitely I have promised to other people that in case if they're starting from scratch, I'll just help them out. So we'll just have the same flow. Might be, I think, for other people also it will help them out, so that they can just what do you say, re-go through the previous topics. But in case you have a very specific, I'm always happy to help. Please drop me an email for that. Okay.
Sure.
Cool. So guys.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. We also cover this well in the security part. Is a token when something like that?
So yes, security part is definitely we have just covered about it. There are different options we do have in terms of security. Mostly we do have your certificated user-based authentication. We do have it, and whatever the maximum we can just show you in system, we'll be able to show you.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So I'll just wind up the session for today.
So, Sam,
yeah, go ahead.
I have a couple of questions actually.
Yeah.
So I am a bit confused about adapter concept as such. What I understood is it is collection of protocols, is it?
It's just a subset of what you just said. So don't worry about it. In case, might be I can understand that in case if you don't have any kind of integration background, might will just confuse you adapter. So adapter just understand that in case it will just help you to adapt. So right now adapter. So right now suppose in case if we have some China person and there is an Indian, in case someone has to communicate, how they will do that. So just think of a case that adapter will help us. Whatever they are saying in Chinese, it will just convert us in the language that we can understand. As simple as that. That is just adapter.
Okay. Okay. So I'll keep that thing in mind. Maybe in future you'll clarify
that detail part. Is
So
it?
yes, definitely we'll do that. We'll just
Okay.
make sure we'll help you, because right now, see, everyone are because for me today is a learning one, because I think daily I was getting a request, can you show us one simple integration flow? I really don't want to jump it, but today I've jumped it and I've seen it don't has done good for me. So I'll do one thing, might be I'll just keep one first explaining the concept wise, because I definitely understand the people who are new might be exposing, or in terms of message protocols, people has kind of a confusion. So we'll just make sure, we'll just try to, whatever the next brick we are trying to keep it, we'll just put it small by small, and there should be definitely people can interlink it. Okay.
Okay. So, okay, we'll do that then. And one more thing, whatever you have done or whatever exploration that we need to do. So for that, we will have to create that, set up that cockpit ID, right?
Correct,
So,
correct. Tenant CPI
I
ID will help you up. Yes, CPI ID will help you. Okay.
yeah. So, can we get a document or so that we can start exploring
So I
by
think
our own?
your cockpit, when you say you want to set up a system, that's it.
Yeah, whatever exploration the task that you have assigned us or you have told us to do. So for that standard prepackaged content, if I want to explore or any iFlows I want to see,
So
then
yes,
can
I
you
think
just
I think it's very simple. Right now, you don't have to do anything, because I think in the previous session also what we have discussed is, once we go to discover part. So right now, once we go to this discover part, we do have so many of kind of prepackaged. Just go into anything, copy this particular content and into your namespace, and just start looking into it. So right now, point was, in case if you just familiarize yourself, I think you will be able to have a better understanding and a better questions. It in the long run, it's gonna help you out. That's the point.
No, but creating an ID for this cockpit, that's where I
I don't
think
think
you are
so.
going to send us a.
No, no, I think as such cockpit ID, I have already shared the document with you guys, na?
No, I have not received. You shared it on mail or you
I
shared
have
it
shared it
where?
on mail. Just do one thing, please drop my email ID. I'll just share it with you. Not a problem.
Yeah, because I have not received anything. So
Not a
I'll
problem.
drop you a mail and.
Please drop me email for that. I'll just help you. Not a problem for this. Okay. So guys, thank you so
Okay.
much. I'll just close the session for today. And right now, just a request, in case if you have, I think because I'll have a very hard stop in terms of, might be you might have, everyone has their own might be you expecting. So might be we'll just right now follow the one common format. And in case you have anything very specific, please just in case we are very specific to a use case, just drop me email. I'll just help you out the path. Okay, but right now we'll have the same similarly small by small steps. We'll just try to cover it up. Okay, guys, I hope
Okay.
everyone is okay. Cool, cool. So thank you so much, guys. Please please just do one thing. Please just go through whatever the session we have it today, and in case if you have a question tomorrow, but we'll just start with the topics like your capabilities and architecture for tomorrow. Okay, so thank you so much. Let's connect tomorrow again.
Thank you.
Thank you.